What's up, guys? We are live, starting right on time. Actually, we're like 5 minutes early. No, we're just waiting on Sonny. He's going to be here in exactly 12 minutes to yell at horse, so it should be fun. But yes, we're waiting one more person. Now, you might be wondering, why does Amy look like a man with tattoos? Well, that's because Amy flaked, and Glenn was kind enough to replace her. But I think it's going to be a good debate either way. Yeah, how did a skinny Australian girl become a jacked man? Well, I don't know. Modern
Steroids.
Modern medicine, yeah. But all right, so anyway, so let me just introduce everyone here. So Tom, I don't know if he needs an introduction. He's been on my channel so many times, but why don't you go ahead and give one anyway?
Yeah, my name's Tom. Go by Tom Foolery Show on YouTube and Kick. Host debates, moderate debates, do debates myself, and then we cover tons of internet news and drama and shit like that all the time on my channel. So, yep, Tom Foolery Show.
Tom is going to be the moderator for this debate, just to clarify. All right, Jasmine.
Hi guys, I'm Jasmine Jafar. I've been on Alex's channel numerous times now. I am an OnlyFans creator. I'm also a lawyer, so I guess those together, 304 lawyer is what I go by.
Yeah, if you don't sign up for her OnlyFans, she's going to sue you, so make sure you. All right, Glenn.
Okay, sorry.
Glenn.
Hey,
You're good.
I'm Glenn Lawrence. Probably best known as the guy that defended Rolo for a while until Rolo showed his ass, and then the guy that just talks and gives his opinion now.
You gotta support it,
which is rare on YouTube. It's like
So let me introduce. So just to clarify for people in the chat, Sonny is coming, so he's going to be here. He's just running 12 minutes late. We didn't want to keep you guys waiting too much, but yeah, he's going to be here. I just talked to him on the phone before we went live. So let me introduce the debate proposition. So this was initially intended to be a team debate, but it's going to be more of like an open debate panel, so anyone can disagree with anyone. We're going to talk about, is the red pill community doing more harm than good? And when we say harm, we're talking about outcomes. Like, what are the outcomes from this? We're not going to be talking about so much about morals, although that may come up. And when we say red pill community, I think it's important for us to clarify. So when I say red pill, I mean the common beliefs that the people in the community agree on and the things that the top red pill content creators are saying, right? So this would be things like women are becoming more promiscuous, or the top 10% of men fuck 90% of girls, stuff like that. So that's how we're going to define that. And yeah, we're going to be going back and forth on that. We may talk about other content creators, but that's really going to be the premise of it is the red pill community and also the red pill advice, because that's involved in there, doing more harm than good from an outcomes-based perspective. So yeah, we can start off with our, I guess, intro statements just to give everyone's position on this. Jasmine, would you mind going first?
Well, and then also we are going for, we said that we would take questions from the audience as well.
Yes.
So if you guys send them to Alex, we can read those out at the end, or if you send them through my chat, either one, then we'll read all those questions out at the end. And I'll just keep up with the ones that are getting sent to yours and keep a track of them so I can just ask all of them.
Okay, sounds good.
Sorry, Jasmine, go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I totally forgot about that. So I would take the position that generally the red pill advice is doing more harm than good. A lot of it is not even based in like a true premise. And then from that premise, a lot of times, even if it is true, which is hardly the case, they jump to a conclusion that doesn't follow from the premise, and it leads to advice that's definitely not going to help you get success with women, and especially if you're looking for any type of long-term relationship, which seems to make people overall more happy. So yeah, that's my position.
Okay, cool. Glenn?
So this is a hard way to answer it. So I think that some advice in the red pill can do good. I think with anything, advice or information provided is not necessarily good or bad. It's how the individual chooses to exercise it or use this information provided to them. So I think that, the way that information is delivered and how it's delivered and what's the goal is determines whether it's good or not, or how it affects people, the individual and those around them will determine whether it's good or not. But I do think that there are some advice and information that is given in the space that can be beneficial to men if they understand it and they apply it correctly.
Okay. I would argue the red pill community, despite doing some good things, has overall been a net negative. For example, there's the idea that there's no good girls in the West. There's a heavy focus on divorce statistics, and sometimes some data is left out. And that's going to make guys swear off being in relationships. You see it all the time. I think most of the people that come into the red pill community are guys who have some type of feelings about women because maybe they escaped a bad relationship or something bad happened. But then the problem is, instead of recognizing what their role in making that happen was and what the red flags they should have watched out for, they wound up just becoming a little bit more bitter and resentful towards women. I think you see that if you watch Fresh and Fit, follow the live chat, or even the content creators or the whatever live chat. It just, a lot of it is just dunking on women. It's just dunking on women. Fuck these bimbos. Fuck these 304s. And look, there's definitely some girls that should be dunked on. But there's also a lot of men that should be dunked on as well. There's a lot of fools in both genders. And I think the red pill, again, is creating this community of almost just kind of comically devaluing women and making it seem like the only thing they're good for is making sandwiches, cooking, cleaning, making sandwiches, and being quiet. That's a direct quote from Pearl. So that's a common talking point. It's a little bit extreme. But yeah, so overall, I would say it's kind of, the advice is not good. It doesn't really give enough practical game advice. It just focuses more on like how to be a high value man. Some of the things are just kind of comical. Like, for example, there's this idea that, if you just focus on your purpose, the girls will come to you. Unless you're a celebrity, no girl is going to come to you, or at least not in any substantial number. You still have to learn how to approach girls, how to talk to girls. But that's not something the red pill community ever talks about. In fact, quite often it leaves it out. And also, I think that a lot of the top red pill content creators are total hypocrites who don't actually even follow their own advice. We saw this case with Fresh and Fit recently, and I would argue that Pearl's another good example of that. Talks about the importance of getting married young, of being a virgin, and she's neither one of those things. So when you see this massive hypocrisy, you see the red pill community overall just seems to be, or specifically the guys in the chat overall seem to be kind of angry and resentful. I would argue that, again, the red pill community has overall, despite doing some good things, has been a net negative.
I want to add to that, as someone who's been pushed. I don't know.
I was going to say, since Glenn is the minority here, both of you are likely saying things that he's going to be against. So I was going to see if Glenn wanted to like pinpoint any one of those things that was just said by either one of you.
Well, yeah, like for one, I don't have to be doing something. I don't have to live this way or whatever way to give sound advice. I could tell you like, hey, you know what, doing drugs is not good for you, but then do drugs, right? Like it's still making it true. Whatever I'm saying is still true. Just because that does make me a hypocrite. If you're like, well, if I tell you guys you shouldn't be doing drugs and then I'm doing drugs, well, that makes me a hypocrite. A hypocrite could still be true. A hypocrite could still provide information that's useful and that is beneficial to people, whether or not they apply it to their own lives or not.
Yes, but if you are being a hypocrite, then that's an indicator that you don't really believe in your own advice. And that kind of
that would just mean that you struggle. What if you just struggle in that area? You still having that's a hurdle that you have to overcome, or you're still trying to overcome in life?
Well, drug addiction addiction.
Yeah. Like if you're an alcoholic, right, and you tell people to don't drink. Drinking is bad for you, but you still struggle with drinking because you're an alcoholic and you're still trying to get over that, issue. Are you giving bad advice?
I don't even think.
Yeah. So wait, real quick, Jasmine. So alcoholism and drug use are physical addictions, which can actually take some time to overcome.
You think pussy could be a physical addiction?
Do I think? Well,
some guys have.
Not really. No, I don't think you can be physically addicted to pussy. I think you can be mentally addicted to pussy. But if you have, like, let's, for example, take the case of Pearl, someone who's saying, hey, you should get married young and you should be a virgin, and she does neither one, or she says you should not be a boss babe, and she violates every single one of those things, well, that actually means that she probably doesn't even believe the stuff that she's saying. That she's probably just telling the audience what they want to hear, because those things are not physical addictions. And in fact, she's violating every single one of her own principles. It just kind of shows you again that she doesn't really deep down inside believe her own advice.
I don't think that, and to add to that, I don't necessarily think they're always looking for truth. As someone who got kicked off Fresh and Fit for saying just basic statistics that were true, it doesn't seem like they want that information. I told them, look, you guys say that educated women to avoid them, but the higher up you go up the education ladder, the less likely you are to get divorced. And those women are probably marrying an educated woman is one of the best things you can do if you want to look at statistically how to minimize your chance of divorce. And they kick me off for that because that doesn't fit their narrative, right? Or they say, oh, have these big age gaps. That was the other thing. If you're 35, go find a 19-year-old. And I'm like, well, your likelihood of divorce goes up by 40% if you do that, and they kick me off for that too. So it's not that these guys are even giving advice where they're looking for the truth and they're doing the adequate research and they're qualified to give this advice. They don't know evolutionary psychologists. A lot of them have renowned, they don't map onto this. There's 2 big articles that came out recently by evolutionary psychologists saying what the manosphere gets wrong about evolutionary psychology, and none of these guys are going to read it. None of these guys care to read it.
They don't read studies in general.
They don't read studies in general, and they don't know how, or they misinterpret statistics and all that, and they don't care to learn how to do it the right way, because what they're trying to do is cater to an audience which, like Alex said, wants them to basically shit on women, say how men have it so bad and women are these horrible people and blah 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 blah. That's what their goal is. Their goal is not to tell you things that are necessarily true, because if that's the case, like even like Rollo, then every time the evidence comes out again, oh, it's a conspiracy, oh, they're just blah 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 blah, right? He was known for 100% being obsessed with the dual mating hypothesis or whatever.
I was part of a conspiracy theory of his.
Exactly. And then as soon as even the authors themselves came out, the researchers themselves that came up with that theory, so they're like, this isn't replicated. This is not, we can't replicate this. We change our mind. He's like, no, that's a conspiracy. So these guys aren't necessarily looking for the truth. They have a narrative and they're selling their audience that narrative.
Yeah, just to kind of add to that, a lot of times they completely misinterpret studies. Like there's a lot of red pill talking points that even I believe, because I'm like, all right, this sort of makes sense. But then when I looked into the studies, I was like, wait, they either heavily exaggerated or left out key parts of the study that totally go against their narrative. A good example of that would be the top 10 or the inceldom is on the rise, and like something, what was the number? Something like between guys 18 to 30, something like 30% of them have never had sex, something like that, or 27%. But if you look at the study, right, then you get a totally different picture. When you go 18 to 20, about 50% of guys 18 to 20 don't have sex, right? They're virgins. When you go 20 to 22, the number jumps down to like something like 14%. When you go 22 plus, the number's like 5 or 6%. You go 25 plus, it's less than 2%. So the conclusion from that study, the proper conclusion, isn't that like there's a massive fucking incel epidemic, is that guys are having sex later on in life, which makes sense because guys take more time to get their shit together now. Like in our parents' generation and our grandparents, by the time you were 18, you were either in the army or you had a job, and you were probably either on the verge of getting married or you were married, right? So all of that makes sense. But again, it's just like I think part of it is just unwilling to even reconsider their perspectives because they're so dug into these talking points. And another part of it is audience capture, which is when you tell your audience what they want to hear. Like if, for example, if Pearl came out and said, hey guys, listen, I was actually wrong about a lot of this stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, marriages can actually be quite beneficial for men if done the right way. And also, I think that, you don't need to be a virgin in order to get married. I think there's nothing wrong with a woman, focusing on her career a little bit before she gets married. There's a study that shows that women who get married later in life or actually tend to have better outcomes, right? She would lose half her audience. So it becomes like this kind of audience capture.
Because they become stuck in like an ideology, right? Like for me, like I could say, like, look, you know what? Preferably, we could say, hey, it's better for both parties to be a virgin when they get married, right? They have that statistic has the lowest divorce rate, right? So you could say like sexual, experience should probably be better remain for marriage, right? Because the outcomes seem to support, at least the evidence seems to support, virgins getting married, and then that being their only sexual experience tends to lead to a better marriage overall, right? So, I mean, I look at it like there's things that could be said, but people are so stuck in their ideology. They are stuck on their, even though they would try to say red pill is not an ideology, you can make it an ideology if you're not willing to take information that counters your argument and that's proven to be true and readjust. So and I think that's where they get stuck at.
That's also a red pill, Glenn.
Where like, for instance, people, they love that. Oh my gosh, there's that Institute of Family Studies one that talks about lower body count or whatever. But the three things that are the biggest like the 3 ways to lower your divorce, the chance of divorce is 25 and up, first marriage, and education. They never say to marry a 25 plus year old college educated woman, although that woman statistically is way less likely to divorce you than the girl with the high body count. or the low body count, I mean, without any of those things, because those are more statistically relevant factors, but they never say it. So they're not actually, again, looking for this. And yeah, because of audience capture. I mean, every time you tell them, oh, a lot of your content is just shitting on women, they're like, no, we tell guys to work out. I have this one other show that does this. Yeah, but nobody watches that, right? People watch Fresh and Fit to watch After Hours because they want to see, that's where their views are.
Yeah, that's
right?
what they want. They just want to see the drama. It's like they just want to see the dumb shit. You know, like. But see, here's the thing. I even tell people this: like, Jasmine, you could be giving me a million advice, all the statistics. It's still on the consumer. It's still my job to do my due diligence and actually read this shit and not just take your word for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anybody could say anything and tell you, yeah, this is the best. This is what's really going on. Unless you're doing your own research on it and you're verifying what, you know, the information that's being provided, then you're an idiot. If you don't do that,
but then by that logic, the vast majority of just the YouTube audience, not a Red Pill audience, is an idiot because the vast majority of people don't do that.
Lazy.
The vast majority of people aren't gonna. So, like, if there's a content creator they like or they trust, most of the time they're not gonna try to go out of their way to fact check them. They're just gonna take what they say at face value if they like or respect you as a content creator. So. And I think as a content creator, it is your job to give your audience the correct information. If you're giving,
you would think they would do that. You would think that would be smart. You would think that would be the good thing that they would do. But people benefit from bullshit, and it's better off if I could string you along and make money and not get in trouble for it, and you're gonna pay me for it. Shit, I'll give you a sit sound all day, and they'll do that. And that's what people like. They don't care. They don't care about the information that they provide, but on all sides, from whatever political group you believe or religious group you believe, you're going to catch people like that in all areas.
Sure, but we got to separate the content creators from the audience, right? Like, yes, you could say that some of the responsibility is on the audience member to do their research, but just at the end of the day, most people are not going to do that. But I think much more of the responsibility, much more of the blame is on the content creator who's giving bad information, especially if they're giving bad information knowing that's bad information. And that's where you get into hypocrisy, where it's like, okay, well, if you think this is good advice, why are you following like grand total of zero of it? But yeah, like I think again, like here's a question for you, Glenn. What do you think are good pieces of advice they're giving the Red Pill community?
I mean, I would say the one thing that I like a lot, especially it was written by Rollo, it was the medium is the message, right? Basically, yeah, it's basically don't take what people say, watch what they do. If their words and their actions are not aligned, then yeah, you should have reason to question what something's going on here, right? It's like if I say like, hey, you know, or if Jasmine said like, hey, let's meet up, it's going on a date. I'm like, all right, cool. Here's a date, time, see you there. And then sometimes everything gets put back. You know, like there's a cancellation and something's going on, like, or she just keeps on calling to, you know, reschedule. Well, obviously, us getting together, meeting up for this date is not that big of a priority, right? That's the medium in the message. So her coming to this date with me is not that much of a priority to her to not have to reschedule. That's the medium in the message. And take their actions. If their actions and their words do not align, then yeah, look into it. Go down the rabbit hole a bit more, see what's going on. That was something that
content creators, Red Pill content creators, that you feel like do align with their message, because I feel like most of them don't. Like most,
I can't really think of one, honestly.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you just asked me what was something that from the Red Pill space that I thought was good information. That was something that I ended up learning from it, reading. I was like, huh, because I didn't even look at it from a intimate relationship standpoint. I looked at it from a business standpoint, from people that I worked with. You know, I'm like, hey, they keep on pushing. Something's going on here. They said they're going to show up.
You don't think that other communities, like this is said in other communities? Because I do agree with you, this is good advice. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier with
like for me, I got it. They clicked to me from reading in the Red Pill space, understanding that dynamic and the way that he was explaining it. And
backfires on them almost, because they are quintessential examples of them not following the same things that they preach. And I don't necessarily have this criticism of like even tradcons. Like I feel like the Ben Shapiro's and the Matt Walsh's, they seem to actually live the lives that they're, or at least from the outside, but the Fresh and Fit guys or Rollo or Pearl, none of these, Andrew Tate, none of these guys actually live the lives that they're telling you guys to live.
Yeah. Sneeko. Yeah. So yeah, I do think that's good advice. It's ironic that it comes from like Rollo, because he seems to do like look at his actions and look at the stuff he says. I feel like just my counter to that is, again, I think it's good advice, but I think that I could swear I've heard this advice in other communities, but hey, you learned the red pill community, and so it wound up working well for you. Okay, what are the other good pieces of red pill advice that you've heard?
I definitely think like the relationship structure or marriage structure that's more, I say, more lines up with the TradCon, but you could still see it with.
Sorry, keep going.
I said more lines with the TradCon view of things, but also you still hear about it in the red pill space, where like, a patriarch structure. I think I'm very pro patriarchy in that sense. So I think I think that's good. I think that's good information, but I think they don't understand necessarily how that's supposed to look per se. I think it kind of comes across as a domineering and a dictatorship or a controlling thing, and just doing what you want to do or get what you want out of it, rather than what a true patriarch, stands for, what it's supposed to look like.
Okay. Let's explore that, but let's welcome Sonny to the panel. What's up, Sonny?
What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing?
We're chilling. So let me get you caught up to speed. So the debate prompt we're going with is the red pill community and the red pill advice doing more harm than good? We're talking about it from an outcomes-based perspective, so we're not really talking about morals. We're talking about like, okay, is this actually helping guys achieve their goals? So do you want to give we had everyone give their quick intro statement. Do you want to give your thoughts on that debate prompt? And also just to clarify one more thing. So the way we're defining red pill is essentially the common beliefs that are most pungent amongst the top red pill content creators. The things that are, the biggest talking points in the community. We're not talking about like, oh, well, there's one red pill content creator who says something different. We're talking about like, Pearl, Fresh and Fit, Rollo Tomasi. We're talking to the big red pill content creators and overlap between the stuff they all believe.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm glad that you want to have a specific definition that we're sticking with, because in typically the way that I see the red pill is just finding truth. So in all different aspects, like recognizing who runs the world, analyzing the chessboard of the world, how to run it. But I'm assuming we're talking about things like you need to sleep with a bunch of different women to understand experience. Don't wife up a hoe, being on OnlyFans is bad, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. I would definitely say that overall the red pill does spread a very positive message to young men, especially because a lot of the programming that we receive inside of society today is pushing men towards being simps and basically kneeling down to the woman and not caring about anything tangible. So not caring about her past, not caring about if she has tattoos or anything that leads to how the woman actually acts. So yeah, I think that the red pill showing you how women truly are and then how to navigate the sexual marketplace is a very powerful tool. And if you don't recognize it, it can lead to you getting destroyed because you ignore a lot of really, really important red flags because society tells you not to. You end up wifing up a whore, you get divorced, lose half your money, you're stuck paying child support. Or, you're someone like Jinxie who just got caught up with, Brecky Hill. He was blinded by the fact that she's on OnlyFans. She's not using him for clout and for money. And then he gets his heart broken. And he's also spreading that message to hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of people that, dating an OF chick is okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to just fundamentally disagree on that. What do you think are good pieces of red pill advice?
What are some good pieces of red pill advice?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that you need to sleep with like 50 different women to understand them, but what would you say are some of like the fundamental principles of red pill so that we're on the same page, and then I can kind of see if we agree.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot, but okay. You touch on some of them in your intro message. So, for example, one is the idea that the top 10% of men are fucking 90% of women. Number two is that when you level up as a man, girls are going to essentially come to you, and that you need to largely focus on yourself, and that will largely take care of your dating problem. Number three is going to be something that like women essentially boil down to cooking, cleaning, making sandwiches. That's essentially the primary role of a girl. Number four is going to be that when it comes to getting to a relationship, what the man brings to the table is his is providing and protecting, and providing, if you're just being dead honest, essentially like giving her money or paying her bills and stuff like that. And what the woman brings to the table is submissiveness, her innocence, and her ability to cook and clean. I mean, I can keep going for days, but those are just like some ones off the top of my head.
No, yeah, that makes sense. So I think that the best piece of advice that the red pill could give is that you should be attaching a value to your attention, and also that if the only thing that you should really be focused on with getting girls is focusing on yourself and upgrading your character. So I've been in the past where I put the effort on putting that effort into girls. What are the different outreach methods? Blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, if you upgrade your character, a lot of the typical rules, like you don't got to text, don't text back quick, all this different shit, you can almost bend the rules in a way if you've upgraded your character to a certain extent. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to wait an hour to text her back so she thinks I'm busy.
What
If
is
you just
upgrading your character? Like
what is upgrading your character?
I was just going to ask that too. Yeah.
The way that I view upgrading your character is making more money, providing for family. So like I'm 20 years old and I take care of my mother. I'd say that's pretty beast for a 20-year-old. I'm hitting the gym. I'm learning to fight. I know like that's like kind of one of the more basic ones, like learning to fight. It's not that important. But as a man, I really do feel like it is very important to learn how to box and get in better physical shape. Making more money so that you're able to live a life where you're able to support the girl. Like I don't even think that you should be dating seriously if you're not in a position where you can at least take care of yourself. And ideally,
well, just real quick, Sonny, a lot of the things that you're mentioning are improvements on like your overall life, but they're asking like, what is a red pill like prescription, or what is a red pill thing?
I think that's what
he was saying.
That's
what I'm saying.
Well, so
yeah,
what I understand, but if you're telling them like making more money so that you can take care of somebody, that's something that gives you the ability to do something if you have good character.
No, Tom,
they're asking like, what is something that actually improves the character?
He's talking. Well, no, the question was stuff that gives you an advantage with a woman. Like what he means by that. And he's legitimately sharing the stuff that he believes is going to make you more successful with women, right, Sonny?
Yeah, definitely. Because it also increases your stress tolerance, getting a lot better at all these different things. Like you learn lessons when you're becoming more successful in business and you're going to a boxing gym and getting the shit kicked out of you. It builds your stress tolerance, so you're able to deal with women easier, I believe.
All right, so let me respond to what you said. So first of all, I just want to say taking care of your mom is a really good thing, and that makes you a good person for doing that. So I want to give you full props for that. That being said, every single thing on this list that you mentioned is not going to substantially help you with any girls other than gold diggers. So the biggest one I think that you said is making more money. Well, going to the gym will help to some extent because you'll be in better shape. But take that one aside, making more money. What kind of girls is that going to attract? Like, do you think that the girl that you actually want to settle down with is going to be the kind of girl that you're going to, I guess, attract by having more money?
So I talk to girls that aren't necessarily attracted to the money, but it's the lifestyle that so it's not like the cars and all that different stuff with the money. It's that you're a busy person and you're always working on something. So if you're a guy and you're not rich at the end of the day, as long as you have goals that you're working towards and a girl can see that you're staying busy, it's not the end of the world as well too. So I mean, like I said, I don't think that you should be dating if you don't have your shit together yet. That's why I'm not even taking girls too seriously right now, because I have a lot of different stuff that I want to do. I want to build myself up more. I'm only 20 years old at the end of the day. I'm not in an optimal state to be having a wife and building kids yet. Like I want a property. I want to have multiple more income streams. I want some real estate, different stuff like that. But where the fuck was I going with this?
But don't you think all this stuff just essentially means having a passion?
I think he's smart. It's being prepared. He's just telling you, he's like, hey guys, before you get into something serious, get prepared. Because
that's the other point. But
when would be the right time to start dating for you? If you think you have to be completely like where you want to be with everything, and then you bring someone in? Is that what you think? That's
no, but it's almost like the aura you give off. So it's not like, oh, you need to have this Lamborghini and these different things to even be able to get a girl, because it's not necessarily about that, but it's you being driven and constantly working towards something that really does attract the girls that attracts girls at the end of the day. And I know that ever since I put my full focus into working on myself, I text girls back when I can. I'm busy. I stay kind of mysterious when I'm texting them. I don't tell them absolutely everything that I'm doing all the time. I don't sit there and have the bullshit girl small talk about what everything happened in your day was. I do my thing and I let them. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. I just don't talk the simple girl bullshit like a lot of guys do. Most guys that aren't into the red pill, they'll FaceTime their girl for 2 hours every single night. They'll put their girl in their Instagram bio. I just think that's basic simp shit that the red pill gets out of guys.
The picker community does the same thing, but yeah. So the way you explain making more money, like when I said what makes it, like why does it help you get girls? It seems to be, just correct me if I'm wrong, seems to be essentially boiled down to having a passion. It's not the actual fact that you have more money. It's just the fact that you're doing something with your life and you're motivated. It's the ambition, it's the motivation that's attracting the girls, not the money.
It's also showing like that provider instinct inside of you. So even if you don't necessarily have the money right now, they can see that you're working towards it. I think one of the biggest things that makes girls unattracted to you is when, you know, you're smoking weed and you're fucking off all day and you're not in that provider position yet.
But is that because the guy is not doing anything with his life? He doesn't have a purpose, or is it because of the fact that he doesn't have money?
What do you mean by purpose? Like, what do you mean by purpose? Because your purpose should be becoming more successful.
What if a guy's like an artist and like, you know, doesn't make a ton of money selling his art, but he's really passionate about it? Like, is that okay? Or does he have to have Bugattis?
I'm not saying you have to have like Bugattis, but you got to at least like, if at least have like a game plan for how you're going to be monetizing your art and making a living off of it. Like you can't. Just
I think we got
be passionate about art.
We got to set some parameters. So first of all, let's just assume we're talking about someone who can take care of themselves, someone who's middle class and above, right? Because we will all agree that if you're like fully a brokey, that's going to put you at disadvantage with girls. So we're talking middle class and above, like 40,000 a year and above. So let's assuming that for all the examples I'm going to give, that's the criteria that's already being met. So would you say that the guy, for example, who's working on a business, and he's working, really passionately about his business, is going to have more of an advantage with non-gold diggers than a guy who's really, really focused on his art or his music, and he's working on the music, and he's equally as passionate about it?
Well, I think Sonny said potential earlier. He was saying that, like, if you're working towards something and you're like, you look like you're going to do something well, that is attractive to women as well, right, Sonny?
Yeah.
I just want to figure out what role does money play in this, and what role is it just having a passion?
Like, well, I think money provides like the security aspect, right? Like money provides, if you're looking for a wife or you're looking to be good with women want to make sure that you are able to, someone that they could trust, that can provide the security that she's going to be looking for if she ends up being pregnant and having your child, and you want to make sure that you can take care of things financially speaking. So I think in that sense, that's where he's talking about money. Does this person have the ability to garner enough resources to not just take care of himself, but others as well that will need to be taken care of by him?
So I think
you don't got to split bills. You don't got to ask for $1,000 a month for the rent. Like honestly, basic stuff like that. But that's where 90% of guys aren't right now.
Okay.
Let's let Jasmine go real quick. She's been trying to get it.
Yeah. So when you're saying to provide for a woman, you mean a woman who wants a guy to provide everything for her and not work, right? That's what you're saying.
I think that naturally girls just want guys to provide. Like if you ask any girl, should the guy pay on the first date? All of them are going to say yes.
But if you ask a lot of girls, why are so many women going to college? Why are so many women want careers? Why do so many women, and those more educated women, they get divorced less and they end up having happier, healthier marriages overall. So these girls,
does it matter?
I thought it was the opposite. I thought that the more a girl was educated and went to college, the higher the divorce rate went up.
No, that's not true at all. It's completely
my question to you, is it irrelevant, like whether she wants him to do this or not? If he believes that this is what he ought to do, regardless, he has to be a provider. He has to make sure that he has the resources coming in based off of his own ability to be able to secure this. Because you may not care for that right now. You may not need it right now. You may be fine the way it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change what he feels that he's supposed to be doing.
So
we're talking about outcome.
You're going to attract a different type of person. So if you're, and you should find people who align with your values. So if you're this kind of guy who's like, my role is to be a provider, then you're going to end up with the girl who's like, pay my rent. Like, go for it. That's your business.
It's not, girls aren't like that though. Like a lot of girls aren't just like, pay my rent. I mean, those are more so like the Miami gold diggers. But for example, like a girl I'm talking to right now, she isn't like that, but she's attracted to the fact that I'm a guy that is like that, because most guys aren't providers nowadays. It's pretty rare. Like that's my thing. Like I feel like the advice that I'm giving and the life that I'm working towards building is overall more beneficial advice than saying that it's not important to build up these attributes about yourself, because the majority of girls are going to be attracted to that provider guy, since there aren't many provider guys out there that are even working towards it. Like so many dudes are just complacent and they're set in their beliefs that, oh, like the world is tough nowadays, so I'm just going to have to split the bills with my wife. When at the end of the day, that's not true. Like, even if you're working a 9 to 5 or you're stuck somewhere right now, you can always get out of that scenario and make an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month, which really isn't that hard to do, but it allows you to live a life where you don't need to be splitting bills with your chick, and you can fly her out if she lives a little far away. It opens up so many different doors.
All right, let me respond to that. So I want to separate the two things, because I do think there's a massive benefit in making more money, right? But that benefit, I don't think really applies to getting girls, unless of course they're gold diggers, right? So the benefit is obviously you can take care of your family, like you mentioned, take care of your mom. That requires extra money. You can, if you get sick, you can get the top-notch healthcare. You can live in a nice place, right? You can, if you have a car crash or something like that, it doesn't have to be like, the worst day of your life, right? So there are benefits to being more financially successful. I do think they taper off once you get to like maybe $500,000 or something like that a year. But we're just talking about in terms of being more attractive to women. So what you were saying is you're talking about, I think, so like most women want a provider, and most women don't like the idea of like, we have to split bills. Well, I would disagree with that. I really would. And I think it just depends what type of girl you're going for. Like, for example, I'm on my 5th relationship right now. My first and second relationship, the girl was making much more money than me because I was brokey. I was working a sales job just on commission. I was making jack shit. And both of those relationships went fine, right? There was no issue at all with that. That's not the reason we broke up. Now I make maybe slightly more money than my girl. But yeah, we split shit all the time. And it's not a weird thing. It's like sometimes it's my treat, sometimes it's her treat. But that's actually, I prefer that, because I know for a fact that my girlfriend is not with me because of my money in any degree, right? I know she's with me for me because she's not getting any money from me, right? Doesn't mean you can't get her nice gifts for her birthday and stuff like that. Versus if you are leading with your wallet like that and you are, taking care of everything, then there's going to be a sizable risk that part of the reason she's with you is because of that. And if you ever lose your money, or the money dries up, or another guy comes along who has more money, then you could lose her. So I feel like that makes your relationship less stable.
Yeah.
Well, so the question then for Sonny is how much do you think women are prioritizing this? Do you think like successfulness and money is the most important thing to you, or do you think it's one small aspect among
No, it's not as
100
simple
other
as
things?
girls just like know how much money you have in your bank account. I really do think it comes down to like an energy thing, where it's like the aura that you give off and the lifestyle that you're able to live. Like, making money allows you to be the best version of yourself. Like, you're able to, if you want to learn a new skill or something, for example, you're able to just hire a trainer in that and become good at it. Like, if I want to learn tennis tomorrow, I can just spend money, give a guy that was a professional tennis player, learn how to play tennis. I want to learn boxing, I can give a guy money and learn how to box.
Yeah, Sonny, but how many like rich fucking dorks do you know? Like dudes who fucking are socially awkward, who pay for sex. Like, how many ultra rich guys do you know like that? I know quite a few.
I mean, the guys that I surround myself with aren't like that. Like, a lot of my friends are in Miami, and like we go out to nice dinners and stuff like that, and we'll bring girls along with us, or rent a boat or something like that. So like I said, it allows you to live a cooler lifestyle. And I also think it's not that hard to be able to tell if a girl is with you just for money.
I think it's just like you need to be competent. It's a
I
competent.
agree. Yeah.
You agree with
Well, Glenn said earlier that it represents safety and security. He said that like money to somebody is going to represent
It can provide it provides the stability that this person is competent enough. If they want to marry somebody that's going to take care of them and they're going to be a stay-at-home wife, that is a good indicator that this person is competent enough to be able to provide enough resources to not only take care of himself, but have extra afterwards. So he's not just getting the bare minimum, but he also has enough to provide for others if he chooses to do so.
Right. Well, exactly. So normally an attraction is going to represent something else that's like fundamental that the woman is actually looking for. And so I'm trying to, and I think Alex is also trying to understand, like, what is it that you think that thing is representing to the women? Like having money or having a car, like, are these able to be, is there another fundamental thing that actually represents? Or do you think it is just the kind of the vibes that it gives off?
Again, I think it just comes back to like the girl says like, oh, this guy's competent. This guy's capable, like it shows that he has like either ambition or he's going somewhere. He can go somewhere. He can troubleshoot problems. It's a problem solver. You don't have money? Okay, I've got money. How did you get money? Because I did this X, Y, and Z. Oh, this person could solve problems. You know,
you could be a rich loser and you could be a poor loser, and
exactly. But
I've heard enough stories of rich losers.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's a metric to be able to see, like, okay, can this person do something with their life? Are they just a good looking
With
person?
that is that a lot of times, in most situations, maybe not in Sunny's case. I mean, all of us here are anomalies to one degree. But what do you think of the fact that a lot of people who have money were just born into it? So where is this competence that's coming from?
But I didn't say it's the perfect. It's not the only thing. It's not just one thing that has to, you know, be the thing that decides. I'm just saying it's one tool. It's one thing that they can show, like, oh, there's this person is a level of competency. They have money. Maybe they didn't have money. You don't know if they're born into it or not, but they're able to acquire enough resources to live the life that they choose to live. And they have enough excess resources that they can take care of other things. So if I was a girl looking for a guy, I wouldn't want to go with the guy that has struggling to get his rent paid every day, because there's no stability in whether or not we're going to have a home or not. But look, there's a guy over here that, you know, looks just as attractive and has his shit together. There's more stability there in the sense of things are not going to be wishy-washy in the financial sense than compared to the other guy. It's one metric that the women could use to judge.
Like a lot of times, like you can get a guy who went from nothing and now he got himself up to making $50K a year, whereas, you know, most of his family doesn't. But like, for instance, coming from the law world, a lot of, like, my mom was a lawyer. Most of us in law school had parents that were lawyers. We go off to make six-figure incomes. That guy didn't really do anything, like didn't show any type of competence. He just followed his life trajectory and didn't really push out of that.
How you make the money is also important. Like, you know, you shouldn't be, I don't think that you should be, like, if you're a streamer, for example, I don't think that you should be promoting gambling to your audience, because the only way that you're making money is by your audience losing. So I think that has karmic retribution.
Sure, I think that's good ethics. I'm going to make an exception for starting a family, because I do agree with you guys that if you're about to start a family, and most of the time the woman's going to stay home with the kid, that's just how it happens, that you should have enough money to be able to take care of her while she's birthing the baby and she's going through her pregnancy, right? So I think that it is different if you're starting a family, on the verge of starting a family, or considering starting a family when it comes to female, I guess, attraction or whatever, or how much she's going to be drawn to you. So I will make that exception. But let's talk about the earlier stages.
So for short-term dating is kind of what we're asking for. Anyway,
well, not even just short-term. Let's talk about anything outside of marriage.
What is short-form dating? Like short-form dating, like you just get
short-term dating means that you're just trying to have sex. Long-term dating means the goal is marriage.
So I'm saying, okay, let me clean this up. I'm saying anything outside of getting married and having a family. We're talking about, being in a relationship for a year, but you have no plans to get married or start a family, or, the early stages when you just meet the girl and try and seduce her. Anything short of, again, getting married and having a family. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. So it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, Sonny, but it seems like the stuff you've been saying sounds like it's the passion that attracts the girls, or is it actually the money itself? My question for you.
It's not necessary. I really don't even think it has to do with the money. I think it really does have to do with the passion, the aura that I give off, and the fact that I have a value attached to my attention. So I'm not there FaceTiming girls every night. I'm a little bit mysterious when I'm texting them. I have a cool Instagram, different stuff like that. I have a social media following. Like the girl I'm talking to right now, her brother's a fan of me. It's shit like that. Like I upgraded my social media XP. I've upgraded these different aspects of myself, and that makes me more attractive to her.
So it essentially boils down to, I'm not trying to oversimplify, but essentially boils down to not the money, but the passion. Having a passion is what attracts girls. But then the whole red pill thing doesn't really say have a passion. They talk about how, for example, Fresh and Fit says, if you're not making six figures, then you shouldn't even date, right? They're not talking about the passion of of having a business or whatever. They're talking about actual dollar amounts. You should be, doing this, and they encourage, like, leading with a wall, for example. You should be providing, for the girl, any girl that you're even seeing, right? You should be the provider. You should pay for everything, blah, blah, blah. So will you acknowledge then the red pill advice, which is explicitly focused on, hey, you should make this amount of money before you get into a relationship, is wrong, given the fact that, according to you, it comes down to just having a passion that you're working on?
I mean, yeah, I do think that you should be making at least around six figures if you're going to be, jumping into the sexual marketplace, just because it's not that fucking hard. Like, that's kind of my thing. Like, if you're not making six figures, you're likely working kind of a normal job. And no hate to anyone that's not, but I'm just saying that it's possible to get your money up and get there, but it's likely that you're trading your time for money. You're spending a lot of time during the day where you're not necessarily progressing. You're just inside of a ladder where you don't even know if you're going to make it up to the next pillar. So
do you think all the guys that work like, you know, just like guys that work at Home Depot, all these guys, they should never date. They should just
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, the guys who make our society run, the construction workers, these guys should not date because they're
construction workers and those guys are they not making around six figures? Like they're like
no.
When you say just real quick, when you say six figures, $300,000 and up is the top 1% of salaries in America. So 300,000 and up, like we're talking about the top 1%. By far, the majority of people.
I mean, I have cousins that make like billboards, or they're going to be like a firefighter or something like that. And at least that there's a plan where like a few years down the line, you are going to be making $100,000 a year. Like at least with a lot of.
I don't think there's the problem with the money aspect. Like you're putting a specific dollar amount on it. And I think that's where Fresh and Fit fuck up and everybody else fucks up when they start putting a specific number on things. Can you provide enough resources to sustain your life comfortably? And can you do that and also bring enough resources to sustain a comfortable life for you and someone else if you choose so, or whatever down the road? That's what it is. It's just you're putting a dollar amount saying, oh, you ought to make this amount of money before you even think about starting dating. I think it's stupid. Because it has to be able to apply in every. You're applying it here in America, but can this principle be applied in another country, or you know, in some other rural America or rural world, like third world country, where they don't have like money? Money doesn't really go that far as it is out here. Maybe you need to be the guy that has all the fish, and you know, at this place in order to be the good guy or whatever. Like high values. This is where we start putting like values on like abilities rather than what they should be. I think putting a dollar amount on what makes you a high value man is stupid, because there's a lot of rich people that have no values, or they're just stupid. You know,
and only 17% of all American men make over 100K annually. So according to Sonny's advice, those other men, which would be like most men, they should just 80+% of men should just not date and should not be content with their lives and should just keep pushing to make that amount of money before they date. Is that what you believe?
And we all need employees. Let's face it, like not everybody could be the.
Let's let Sonny answer the question.
I'm trying to think, because at the end of the day, everyone can't make it. Anyone can. So obviously, it's unrealistic for like, let's say that if I was like president, I had to make a law. I wouldn't make a law that like you had to make $100,000 before you could date. You know, obviously, like something like that wouldn't necessarily be sustainable. But I'm just being realistic in the aspect that even if you are in some kind of trade or something like that, you can. If you're in a trade, there is typically like a 5 to 7 year plan where you can make your way up to six figures, which I think is good. And if you're not, there's plenty of different businesses that you can start to hit six figures. Like my whole point is it's just really not that hard nowadays. So it's just simply not that hard, like for anyone to get into it. Like you can do fucking TikTok shop right now, and there's people making $25,000-$30,000 a month extremely consistently. So I almost see it as like lazier to not be making that much money. It's almost harder to not make that much money than to do it. Hold up, I'm getting a call. 1 second.
Look, I think everyone in this panel makes six figures, but you do realize that
both of our red pill guys.
Sorry, what?
I think we lost both of our red pill guys. He's taking a phone call and he's muted and gone.
I'll wait for him.
I'm here.
Okay, he's gone. Okay, yeah.
All right. So
I think Sonny agrees with the six figures thing. Like, so for Sonny, do you think that like a man who's making 80K, who's dating a girl who's also making like, let's say
I think like we're really like nailing. All right. I'll take it back. Like, I don't think that we need to pick like an exact dollar amount. Okay. I don't think we need to pick an exact dollar amount, because it also depends on where you live in the country. Like if you're in New York City, $100,000 is like literally nothing. Like you can barely afford groceries, compared to if you're somewhere in the middle of the country, $100,000 gets you a lot farther. $100,000 in other countries is actually a lot of money. So I don't really even think that this is worth debating about like this specific.
It's a ballpark number. I get it.
Like I said, like I think it's more so about like that provider instinct,
care of themselves, and then want a woman who can take care of herself. Like, and there are women who prefer that. Do you think like they should date even though it's not this provider role that you've deemed as?
If you're working like paycheck to paycheck, like your money isn't going up consistently, you're in a job where there isn't progression in sight, then yes, I don't think that you should be dating.
But why? Like, why? What's the
I just
rationale?
don't
for
see
that?
the point. I'm honestly like, I disagree with like you need to sleep with like 100 women to understand them. I don't even see the point in dating unless it's something really serious. Like I only date girls with a really low body count or someone that I see like literally being a potential partner. I just don't see the point otherwise, to be honest.
Okay, but just to repeat the question, what is the rationale for not dating if you're just working paycheck to paycheck?
What is the rationale? Because you have more important shit to be focused on than getting your dick wet.
What if you're someone who's just not money oriented? Like you don't really care about you just want to make enough to get by. You don't
Okay,
really
you can do that, but I think you're making the wrong decision at the end of the
So
day.
that's your choice. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I
But
think
why not?
there's more to life than money.
But why? But why? Like, let's say
Yeah,
you're a
obviously
guy.
there's more to life than money, but you are able to become the greatest version of yourself by having money.
No, money doesn't
Buying
help you
freedom, though.
become the greatest version of yourself.
Okay,
It's a tool that you
It
can
gives you.
use.
I believe
It
that
gives you
gives
the
freedom.
option. It gives you the
let me give an
Yeah,
analogy.
money gives you more freedom to do more things for sure. I think Alex has been trying to ask a
Let-
question.
Let's say you're a middle school teacher, you get paid $40,000 a year, and you're really, really passionate about it. You love teaching. This is your passion. You don't want to do anything else. You want to be a teacher. Why should that person not date?
A guy teacher.
Yeah, a guy teacher or a guy.
We need more of those in schools.
Because you're gonna say that's feminine. What about a guy like I do a lot of like these hiking tours and these like river guides or these guys that go out and they're doing this really manly thing like teaching you how to raft or whatever, but they don't make a lot of money. A lot of them rely a lot of
Yeah, we're just talking about any job where you're passionate about what you're doing, you love your job, and
It's
you
hard
make
to make like a complete generalization across everything. Like if a guy is dead ass just content with going in the walking through the woods, and then he finds another girl that wants to walk through the woods, like I don't give like go do your thing. Like if you're happy, you're happy. I'm talking across like the widest variety of people. I'm not saying like
But
oh,
what would be the disadvantage? Okay, here's the crux of the question. What would be the disadvantage for a guy who's doing a job that they're really passionate about? They don't want to do anything else and doesn't make that much money. They make 40, 50,000 a year. What would be the disadvantage for that guy to start dating compared to the guy that's making 100K or 200K? Why? What's the thing that should? What's the logic for why that guy should not date? Essentially, across the board.
From my perspective, I think that you're able to get a higher quality girl and have more access to women once you buy that freedom essentially and you're making more money.
Okay.
What's a higher quality girl?
I think that would be that would be the thing because that makes it subjective right there. Is the quality girl.
So
Thing.
And then that also comes back to the red pill and the standards that guys have. Like they're fine with wifing up like a fully tatted up OF whore because they just don't think it's wrong. They're convinced that a girl's past or what she does.
Those tatted whores are usually the ones that are also looking for the men with money. But I'm thinking of like a girl like this river guide example. Another girl who just, is doing the same thing or whatever. Is she a low value woman because she doesn't care about money? Are the women who want to support themselves and are just looking for a partner, are they lower value?
A woman who wants to support herself, so she's not even looking to be on the sexual marketplace. So how would you be dictating?
No.
Okay, well, I guess a better question.
The question. A girl who's
you mean a girl who just wants to back her own bread?
Hold on, Glenn. Real quick, that she's saying that like most partners actually make about the same amount of money. So both of them are going to work their own jobs and get their own salaries, and then they're just going to live together and support themselves and just be a couple at the same time. So they're asking
like a girl who's not looking to be provided for. She's still interested in having a relationship and all that.
Is she lower value because she doesn't care to be provided for? She can provide for herself.
No, I mean, not necessarily. Like if a girl is working a job or something like that, and then she's still modest and she's close with her family and everything like that, I don't think that's the end of the world. But then I still think that it's your job as the guy to step up regardless.
Well, I think that's.
Do you guys
fine,
want to stay on this, or did you guys want to make it to like tie back to Red Pill on like how Red Pill actually helps you achieve that goal, or did you want to move to like?
I want to stay on this for a little bit longer.
I want to ask a question though because he said like what higher value girl, like a higher value girl. What's a high value woman, or what's a high value girl? Like what does a woman have that makes her low value or high value?
So like. More attractive and I'd say like more wifey in my opinion would be like less bodies, less emotional baggage, naturally feminine, close with her family, no tattoos, how much
everything in pretty much Rich Cooper's book that you're just saying.
Is that all in Rich? I haven't
Pretty
read
much.
it.
I mean, like, you know,
I haven't even read it. I'm just going off of the stuff that I say.
how
And
would you
also,
know like her body count? How would you know
Look
for a
in their
fact
eyes.
what her body count is?
Just look in their eyes.
So in her eyes, you'll know that exactly that Jay has X amount of numbers of bodies.
Correct.
What do you think Jasmine's body count is?
I think we already talked about it. So
Oh, yeah, we did.
you
Never
know,
mind.
so
Yeah,
it's like 7, right?
Yeah.
I don't think looking in someone's eyes is going to give you the
It's
exact
also the
answer.
aura. Like that's the thing. It's the aura
aura.
that they give off. Like you can just smell a hoe. Like when you're in the club and
What does it smell like? Does it
not
smell
even-
like some like used vagina? Is that what you host?
They smell like
I
semen.
don't know. It's like the hormones that they give off. Like I can smell like a 1 to 2. Even if a girl is a virgin, or let's say she has even 1 to
But
2
she has a
bodies,
cleaner
you
vagina.
can't lie about.
Like
It's not
that new
about
vagina
the
smell.
cleanness of the vagina. It's the aura that they give off.
I mean, you were really wrong about me. You thought my body count was way higher, so I gave you a false sense.
Did I guess your body count?
I guess the vagina smell wasn't the same.
Yeah, but you
That
get
new
railed on
vagina smell,
Twitter.
Jasmine.
That's like that one body is equivalent to like 100 anyway.
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
it's not even.
This is what I think, and this is just me. It makes it really general. I think what makes a woman high value is when a guy decides he wants to invest in her in a relationship. That because he is choosing to share his value with her, right? So she actually has to be worth it at that point because that's high value to him, right? So you know it's kind of hard to determine like. This makes a high value woman. She has no tattoos. Yeah, there's no body count. There's body count low that you cannot prove whether or not you're just hoping that her eyes don't.
No, you
deceive
can tell. Like you
I mean,
can tell.
you could tell. You could tell by behavior, but you still don't know exactly how many bodies she had. You really don't know exactly the number amount or how many times or if she was in any gangbangs or anything. You don't really know. Women could deceive you. I mean, come on, they could not let you think that. They could present themselves in a way to mislead you. It happens. Okay, I don't think just by looking in her eyes and be like, no, this bitch had 10, not 5. She told me a lie. You know, I don't think you'll get that. But I do think that you're talking about characteristic or character traits that you think that makes a woman of value, and that's fine. I think that's individual though, because what some red flags that you may say is a red flag may be a green flag for somebody else because they have a different desire or wish for a relationship that is not in your definition of a relationship with a person.
Yeah, like you may think a girl with 0 bodies who sits at home and twiddles her thumbs is high value, but another guy, typically more educated guys, think like a female neurosurgeon is higher value. So like with 2 bodies. So it is a subjective measure, isn't it? Other than maybe measures of like attractiveness, which there's no evidence that girls
guys
that are
typically don't care about the girl's profession, but
that's not true.
Well, I would say as a guy, I do care, not specifically about her profession, but that she's able to take care of herself. I don't want a girl who's like a damsel in distress and I need to bail her out financially. Like, I'll quickly answer Glenn's question. It is definitely a bit subjective, since I, for example, don't care about tattoos. I like tattoos, not too much, but I think they're attractive on girls. For me, it comes down to the following things: beauty, of course, intelligence, I think is an important one, character, loyalty. Is she loyal to me and to other people in her life? Is she able to take care of herself? And also, is she just a good person? Is she a good human being? Right? I would say those are quick ones. Her sense of humor, I think, also plays a role. She's funny. Is she chill? Is she lighthearted? Does she cause drama, or is she actually very chill? Like, those are what I would say makes a high value woman.
I would agree. I would agree with that because, like, I love tattoos too. Like, I mean, shit, my girl, she got all her tattoos because I told her to get them. She didn't have as many before. She had 1 or 2, and then next thing you know, she has a sleeve and everything else because I like.
Where are you getting that more tattoos equals lower value? Is that just subjective, or do you have some objective measure for that? Like, is it just?
I've ran my studies.
Yeah.
And noticed that.
What are the studies?
The average tattoo equates to 1 body. Tattoos on the back typically has a 5x multiplier. If there's a butterfly, there's a demon inside, so you stay away. I've done plenty of statistical studies, so yeah.
Okay, I would love to see these studies at some point, but I want to get back to Sonny, what you were saying. More money gives you more access to higher quality women. Can you explain how someone making 150K has more access than someone making 50K?
It's not just about the money. All right.
But that's what you said directly earlier when I asked you the question.
That's why I was asking earlier if it represents something else, if there's something else that the money is representing for the woman that she's actually looking for.
This is actually a quote I wrote down from you. More money gives you access to high quality women.
So can I try to answer this question?
I thought I
think
expanded on that earlier, but here
I think it gives you the ability. The more money gives you the ability to go places, to meet other people, to travel, to experience life in a different way than most people that live in a very stricter income range, right? So if you have the opportunity, are you blessed enough to have these resources to where you could travel to other parts of the country, or you can meet new people in different events or different venues? Then yeah, you have more opportunity to experience multiple different types of people from different walks of life. That gives you the opportunity to meet someone from a different class. I think
that is the answer that Sonny gave earlier as well. You agree with that, Alex, right? That like more money gives you more freedom to do more things.
Correct.
More
it allows
money
you to be a greater version of yourself.
So then would you give the same advice to women?
I would say the same thing. Like, well, I think it's a different metric. I mean, yeah, but you have the resources to travel. If you want to travel, money is a good thing to have if you want, to pay bills, to live off of, but also experience life, if you want to go places.
Also, to find a mate the best way for a woman to find a mate who's high value, makes money, is to do it herself, because assortative mating is the dominant human mating strategy. We tend to mate across socioeconomic status, across IQ, even across attractiveness. So this idea that this girl is going to sit at home and like twiddle her thumbs, yeah, she could end up with some high, earning, whatever, but it's much less likely, because like Glenn said, if you are going to, you're getting educated, you're making your own money, you're in these networking meetings, you're in the office, you're in this corporate firm with these, you're more likely to also have these experiences, and you're more likely to be an interesting person and more likely to find somebody that is your equal, which those relationships that are equal are the ones that end up being most fruitful and last. So even if the wife ends up staying at home, right? Ben Shapiro always says, oh, my wife's a doctor. Yeah, she may have left her career now, but he's proud of the fact that she's a doctor. This idea that men don't care and they just want some like little girl to sit at home and do nothing is not borne out by the data or by really most.
Well, I mean, think about this in a whole like leadership thing, right? I wouldn't want my wife to have no skills, no ability to garner resources. Yeah. Because what if I die? Now what? Who's going to take care of her? She has to be able to fend for herself. And I would want her to be capable enough to do that. I want her to have the ability and education to be able to acquire resources and garner and have a fruitful life and provide enough money for herself to take care of the kids or whatever else. If I have kids and everything, I would want that for her.
Those mothers end up being better mothers to children when it comes to cognitive development, right? So kids born to educated mothers or higher IQ mothers have much better vocabulary. They have much better proficiency levels when it comes to math, science, etc. Their mothers are exposing them to more difficult like activities that develop or help them build their cognitive skills. To have some like 19-year-old from Colombia that's just very submissive, but like is just cooking and cleaning and not exposing their children, it leads to worse outcomes for your children too.
That's why I think a woman being educated is fine. She needs to be educated and be able to have an ability to acquire resources and make a good job. But in your relationship, maybe you really want your wife to be at home. And I think that's a choice that you get to make, and you guys have to talk about and say, hey, I would rather you be a stay-at-home wife. I know you got the skills to pay the bills, girl. I got it. But you know what? I got the skills to pay the bills too. And you know what? We don't have anybody here with the kids. So how about you focus on that, and then that be your thing. And if that's the agreement they work on, then great. If that's what the guy wants for his relationship, then that he has to find a woman that meets those qualities. But I think to say that, a woman, his job doesn't matter. It does matter in the sense of understanding like, oh, she accomplished something. She's smart enough to be able to handle things or troubleshoot a problem and acquire resources if for the sake of I'm not here to do so and take care of her. She's not without. And I think that's smart. I think you would want a woman to be competent enough to do that other than just knowing how to fold laundry and cook.
Yeah, Glenn, I totally agree with you. And I do think you get to make a decision in your relationship. But most red pillars would disagree with what you just said. Fresh and Fit would disagree with that. They would say the girl should stay home. She should not work. They would say that women who are more educated and actually work are more problems. You want a girl who doesn't do any of those things. So most of them would disagree with you on that. But I agree with what you said. Now, going back to Sonny, I want to once again press this point. So I'm still kind of confused how you feel about this. You said more money gives you access to higher quality women. So is that something you still believe, or did you misspeak when you said that?
Making more money allows you to live a higher quality life, become a greater version of yourself, giving you access to higher quality women. Yes, I do believe that.
Okay, can you
we
explain
turn you off of
how that would play out? Like how does someone making 150K have more access? Let's assume they both work equal amount of time. So let's say the guy who makes 150K a year, he has his business and he works 40 hours a month or 40 hours a week. Sorry. And then the guy who's the, I don't know, let's say school teacher also works 40 hours a week. So can you just explain this to me? How would the guy making 150K wind up having access to higher quality women?
Because you are higher up on the sexual marketplace overall. So then, like Jasmine said, people date across their just like Jasmine said earlier, how people date across their socio-economic status, people also date across the sexual marketplace. So if a guy is making more money and he's able to do things like travel, gain life experience, he has a better quality network where he can get more shit done. He's able to invest in higher quality trainers, get in better shape. He's able to be more of a problem solver, because I do think that the more money you make, it directly correlates to stress tolerance, and then I think that then goes into the relationship as well. So it's in a bunch of different facets. Like, it's not just about the amount of dollars in your bank account, but it's about the man that you become making more money, the stress that you can handle, and the life experience that you gain.
What is your link about the stress? Is that from a study, or that's just from
that's just common sense. That's just common sense.
The
more money you make, you're solving bigger money problems.
Is more stressed than the guy who's building a house or doing construction work, but he's not in any like management position. You think he can't handle as much stress?
It's a different kind of stress when you're told exactly what to do and you know that there's a clear path laid out for you to do it. Like if you're an employee and you're told what to do, compared to someone that has to find different ways. They have to come up with a marketing campaign. They have to put a person in this place.
That's not always necessarily true. Like an engineer, right? An engineer, a lot of times they're given projects and they do it and they're making, let's say, 150 grand a year, versus a guy who is an entrepreneur maybe and is managing people, but he's bringing in 60.
Okay, and there's a reason that the manager and the person that is setting up all the plans and having to use his brain more makes more than the people who are told what they need to do.
I know. I'm just saying that there are stressful jobs that are at lower income levels, and then they're easier.
There's problems in every economical situation. Again, the more money you make, you're going to have different problems. You're still going to have problems.
Of course, more money, more problems. That's
okay, but the problems. But you're saying that the problems are going to, you're going to have problems regardless. What you may think is a hard problem now, if you're under making 60K a year. Yeah, you may not have those problems making 100K a year, but you're going to have 100K people problems, or you're going to have a millionaire problems of money. Like the problems, you're always going to have stress. The stress doesn't go away. You're just going to have different stress.
My point is that you don't necessarily have more stress the more money you make. In fact, a lot of evidence
you just have different levels of stress.
Like if you make more money, you're better able to manage stress, which I haven't seen any evidence for that. And I haven't seen any evidence that if you make less money, that you're somehow less stressed and you're somehow less able to manage it. That's what I'm saying.
I think I was less stressed when I had less money. But anyway, that's anecdotal.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, no,
there seems to be studies that say that stress levels don't seem to actually make a difference based on how much money you're making.
It doesn't. You're still going to have stress. They're just different stressors, different things that are going to stress you out.
You're dealing with bigger boy stress. That's the whole thing.
I don't know.
You call it bigger boy stress. It's still stress at the end of the day.
Yeah, some of like
it's
the fucking
stress that a person that is. It's stress that the people below them couldn't necessarily handle. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, who's the guy that's sending an OnlyFans girl $10,000? Is it the guy that makes $40,000 a year, or is it the guy that has a lot of money? I've seen some massive ultra rich simps.
Didn't have to work for his money. I mean, for the that's my guess. I'm not saying that as a fact. I'm assuming Jasmine.
Or maybe
there's probably a lot of guys here. Let me explain. There's probably a lot of guys too that just have like failing marriages. They make a bunch of money as well, and they're just fucking miserable. So they send it to you, right?
Well, no. What I'm saying is that a lot of times also, like, who do you think is better able to manage stress? The guy who came from this impoverished lifestyle and didn't have these opportunities, dealing with these life stressors, and now makes 30K a year, or the person like someone like if I had a brother whose parents are lawyers, make a bunch of money, and then sent the kid off to law school. I have like no resilience skills, and neither does this guy. Versus that kid who grew up with so much turmoil and adversity. May not make a lot of money, but I wouldn't say he's less able to handle stress. He just hasn't had even the opportunities to get to that level.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Of course, like when you're stressed about money, it is one of the worst. It is one of the worst issues that's out there. But you're dealing with different kinds of problems at the end of the day, and that's also why I said that making money and becoming a provider is important, because it lifts that stress of basic money necessities off of you, and then you're able to expand into a greater version of yourself.
See, like I could agree with your position, making money and all that stuff, but see, I would come at it from a completely different perspective, and that'd be more from a religious perspective, in a sense, where the Bible says, that you're supposed to leave an inheritance for your children's children. So, then that means I got to acquire a lot of resources so that my kids' kids could have an inheritance based from me. That's where I would go with the argument if I was going to be standing on that position, but not in the sense for it because I have less stress. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't, or the stress will be different. I'm just saying you're going to have stress regardless.
Yeah, but when we're talking about stress about money, like a polling from 2023 says that 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So we're talking about, like, by far the majority of people kind of have the same stress levels because it's going to be relative to who you are. So even if you're like a McDonald's employee afraid of losing your job, that job is just providing for whatever lifestyle you currently have. Whereas if you're like some top level management guy in a big firm, what you're about to lose your job, you're going to have the same exact stress levels as that guy because you're just about to lose the money that's giving you the lifestyle that you're capable of providing for. And so, it's relative to whatever it is that you live in.
Yeah, I don't feel like you're better at managing stress. There's no evidence to indicate that the more money you make, that you're just better able to tolerate stress.
Sonny, I want to definitively clarify this. You think the act of making more money actually improves your success with attracting women? Is that correct or no?
With attracting women, it's a important first step. Like I keep saying, like if you make more money, you're able to live a cooler lifestyle. You can get a cooler Instagram. You're doing better shit. At the end of the day, if you really want to get chicks, it's through Instagram. And the best way to have a cooler Instagram is to make more money and live a cooler lifestyle. So I think it's like the first building block that leads into the rest of it. Yeah.
So then more exposure, maybe.
Would you argue that guys who make 150K a year are doing better with women than guys who are making 50K a year?
All right, so we're talking about just railing girls because
He said earlier He said earlier that it wasn't going to change like how many women you get. He said Sonny said earlier that it's going to change the quality of women that you get.
Okay, quality. So do you think the guys who make 150K a year are attracting a higher quality of women? When I say quality, I think we're talking about physically, than guys who make 50K a year.
I think they have the ability to attract higher quality women, yes. But if they don't know what to look for, then no. So like also when I was in college and I was, wasn't making any crazy money, I was just a normal college kid. Like, yeah, I was like railing chicks in college very consistently. It was super easy actually. It was actually easier in college, but I'm railing like college hoes. Like these are no wifeys out here.
About Instagram though, in Pew Research in 2023, less than 10% of married couples even meet on apps or anything. So this idea that the way to like make yourself a better is to have a really cool looking.
You're saying if you wanted to just sleep with girls easily, then yeah, like one of the easier routes is to just get a cool Instagram.
No,
well, that's not what you said though. But you said quality women.
We need to clarify this. Are we talking about quality in terms of looks? Are we talking about quality?
I thought just now we were talking about just sleeping with girls too.
Hold on. I thought Sonny.
No.
Earlier, you were only quality. One second. Sonny, I thought earlier you said that you were talking about. You said you only want to talk about long-term dating, right? I thought that's what you said earlier.
All right,
if we're talking about,
we're back on track then. So we're talking about long-term dating. Okay.
Well, I think we have to clarify quality here because again, earlier when he said quality woman, it was like no tattoos, no high body count, this, that, and the other.
I don't think we have to focus on quality. We can just say quality is what most men would find desirable.
Here's the one question I have. When we say quality, do we mean wifey material type of traits, or do we mean looks? Just that's the question I have, Sonny.
Wifey material.
Okay, so that's interesting. So how does having more money help you attract wifey material girls? Because my argument would be that if you have more money and that's going to show through, that you're going to attract some girls who are just gold diggers or with you for your money, fully or partially, versus if you're someone who makes 50K a year, that by default, you're going to screen out all the potential gold diggers, and the girls who are going to be with you are going to be more likely to be with you for you, and that's going to make the relationship more stable. So to me, the idea of attracting more wifey material girls, it seems at best like making more money is not really going to help. And the worst could potentially be counterintuitive if you're not really good at screening out the gold diggers, which most guys are not. So can you walk me through the logic?
So the logic of, bro, I'm not gonna lie, low-key zoned out. So like you're saying that the money that you wait, just say that again. I'm sorry. I hate to make you repeat.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm saying, how does making money help you attract more wifey material girls? Because what I would argue is that you're actually making more money, especially when you go up there 200K, 300K. You have the risk of attracting a lot of gold diggers, and most guys are not good at screening those girls out. Versus your guy who's making like 40,
Okay,
50K.
yeah. So if you're making more money, obviously you get more sexual options. So that's,
I feel like we're circling. He said earlier that it just gives you more of an ability to do the things that you want to do. So it's
because you're just like you're higher value overall. Like you're more so of a provider. If you want to get that wifey girl, she's typically close with her father, and she recognizes that the guy should be a provider in a relationship. So like, let's say I was a normal guy and I was still in college, and I met a girl that's a virgin, super close with her dad, and I wanted to take her out and potentially marry her or something like that. I would wish that I was more in a provider state so that I was a better suitable partner for her. So it's also
I think this is just an.
I was going to ask Alex, if you just to clarify what it is that you're saying, Alex, if we took somebody who looks, two guys that look exactly the same exact person, same exact personality, but one of them makes 100K more than the other, do you think the one who makes 100K more than the other has more opportunity to get with more women and more higher quality women, more desirable women?
Assuming we're excluding gold diggers and sugar babies, assuming we're excluding those, and assuming the guy who's making less is, middle class or so, like he can take care of himself, like he's not brokey with no apartment, no car, then no, I don't think it will make any kind of substantial difference for LTRs.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think that it's necessarily just about the money. And it's also, there's like a bunch of different factors that go into it. Like, do you have to go into an office for 40 hours a week to make that money? Or do you make it on your own and you have more free time? Like, there's different factors that come into play.
I still don't really understand your position because Jasmine, do you understand? Because I feel like it's kind of changing a little bit about the importance of actually making money.
So what, are you talking about 50 to 150K, or like if you're already making 150 and you can live a cool life to then 250K? So it's
the analogy I gave was 50 to 150K because the point I brought up is that when you're making more money, then you have a higher risk of attracting gold diggers who we can all agree are going to be lower quality women.
Yeah, but with gold, like.
Would you consider her a high quality woman if she has all these things, but she wants to be with you because of that money? And even like Myron said, I guess sort of to his credit, that these kind of girls, it's like, would you be okay then if you lost the money for her to leave you and go to another guy? And he said, yeah. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's a high quality relationship?
No, like it's not just about the money. Like that's
we know it's not just about the money. We're just talking about the importance, even if it's 20% that the money plays. It seems like
Alex, your comeback doesn't make a whole lot of sense because Sonny just said that it gives you an ability to attract the more desirable women. And then you're saying, well, it also gives you the ability to attract gold diggers. That's true, but it also gives you the ability to attract the higher quality women. And so that's the thing that he's saying. Like,
but then it's also like you don't just get grabbed by a gold digger, you get gold dug. So if you're starting to pay her rent and like you're ignoring all these other red flags, like you're a simp and you deserve to get your money taken. But like if there's a girl who has, like I said, a lower body count, she has extreme gratitude, she's like offering to pay for stuff, but you're laying it down. Like a lot of the girls in Miami, they show no gratitude when you take them out to like a $500-$600 dinner, and that's just not attractive to me. Like I was talking to a really good quality girl.
This conversation
why would you take them out to a $500 dinner on the first date to begin with?
That's
it was a double date. It was a double date, and like I just picked up the bill.
Well, also like, okay, let's say
that's leading your wallet, right? Wouldn't that be leading with your wallet?
Super thankful, but if you were to change circumstance, let's say you got a disease or something, and you had like a really whatever, and then you lost the ability to pay her rent. And
I'm not just paying bitches rent. Like this isn't like I'm not just saying like find a girl and just like pay all of her bills. That's not what I'm saying.
She's giving you an extreme analogy to test your logic. She's not actually saying.
I'm saying like if you lost the ability to do these things and then the girl no longer wanted to be with you, would you consider that a higher value woman? The woman you attracted because of the money is also the kind of woman who would leave if you didn't have the money. Do you consider that higher value?
Well, but like that's not. I don't know. I'm probably just not explaining this in the best way possible. But I'm saying it's not just about the money. It's about who you are and who you're able to become with the money. So let's say you start a successful business, you're working hard, you're upgrading yourself in the different aspects that I mentioned earlier, and then you lose the money, but you're still working hard and you're like, I'm going to get back at it. You know, I'm still going to be that guy down the line. I have a plan, or even if you don't have a plan, I'm working towards the plan. I don't think that the girl is necessarily just going to jump ship and go right to the guy with other money. But it is also about like that drive in you to progress further.
Yes.
Yeah,
but-
he's saying that the money represents character to these women, and that if you lose the money,
Yes,
that
like,
doesn't
that-
mean that
all
you
right,
lost
yeah,
the character. You
that's
still
what-
had the character that gained the money.
Right, I
That's what I'm
understand that,
saying.
but the analogy I gave is assuming the guy making 50K achieved all the same character accomplishments. He's character-wise just as competent as the guy making 150K. Let's assume he got there through other ways. Then does the fact that he makes 100K less give him a disadvantage? Just the money aspect. I understand there's more to it. I understand it's the character development that plays a big role, but just assuming that guy making 50K a year managed to reach the same exact character point as the guy making 150K, is the 100K actually putting the guy who's making more money at an advantage?
All right, so let's say like they're both in the same shoes with like attributes and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I think that is putting them at a disadvantage, because especially once the girl wants to settle down and have kids, this is what I've noticed extremely consistently across the board. She wants a guy that's able to pay the bills and she doesn't have to worry about it. So yes, the extra
You've
100K,
noticed this across
especially
the
from
board
50 to
20 years old?
150K. Yes, that's important.
But the parameter I said was assuming you're not planning on having kids.
Oh, I missed that. I'm zoning out too, clearly.
Well, yeah, even then, what you've seen across the board at 20 years old might not be so. Or for instance, do you think blue collar workers have lower quality women available to them?
Do I think blue collar women have lower quality women available to them?
Blue-collar male workers, like
Blue collar workers have lower quality women.
do very masculine roles. They just don't end up making like a ton of money. Like even and a lot of these professions are very like loggers or whatever. These people that are just doing these kinds of roles or being blue collar workers, do they have access to lower quality women than like hedge fund managers necessarily?
I think he was saying earlier that they would have a lower quality of proportionalities, that there would
They
be
have less
like
options.
a
for
greater
sure. They're
amount
like
of
Right.
to the guys, but they're more so like average Joe. So yeah, they have less options.
So for Sonny, it's not just the character traits that come with making money. It's also the fact of having money. I think he's been pretty clear as of last 5 minutes is that it's actually the money that's playing a role. Now, let's just, again, take the parameters I set and assuming that you're not planning on having children. You're not planning on starting a family. Do you still feel the same way that extra 100K, given the fact that both people are exactly the same place character-wise, will give that guy making 150K an advantage?
So this is for just, if you're not planning on having children, then what are we talking about? Just sleeping with girls, then just sleeping around and having access? Or are we saying getting a higher quality girlfriend?
Let's just say higher quality girlfriend.
Yeah, you have more options as the guy making more money, especially if all the other things are the same. So yes, you would have more access to a higher quality girlfriend, correct?
So, and we're excluding gold diggers from this, right?
Yes, we're excluding what are we? Yeah, I mean, if there's a girl that's with you just for her money, for your money, she's not high quality.
How would you know?
But yeah,
How do you know? How do you know if she's with you just for the money?
I mean, if the only factor
I don't
that's
know that
different,
that matters. I feel like we're getting into the weeds a little bit. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know
we-
if that
we
matters
can-
as
we
far
can
as
move
whether or
on.
not you
Well,
do
it's
have
smart.
access to more women who are more desirable. That is his point. That is why he thinks it matters.
Yeah, I think like at the end of the day, money gives you more ability to have a different lifestyle, and you're not having to live paycheck to paycheck and get to experience different types of things in this world that most people that don't have that kind of money could experience. But I don't necessarily think that necessarily equates to you'll find a higher quality woman. I think it just gives you the opportunity to be around different people and experience people from different backgrounds, and it gives you the opportunity to pick more of from a different variety.
okay. Let me redirect the question a bit, and then we can move on to the next topic. So let's take someone like Myron, for example. He's been pretty public about the fact that he leverages his resources. Probably pays the girl's bills and all that. And he said that if he stops losing money, the girl will probably leave him. Right? And that's a rare moment of honesty, which is always appreciated. Would you say that's like a high quality woman, the girls he dates, if they're willing to leave him as soon as he stops making money? Would you say that in that case, this red pillar's focus on money has wound up helping his relationships or hurting his relationships?
I think that Myron's a really great guy. So like, I honestly don't even think that she would leave him. If I mean, I
But
don't know,
Myron
bro.
thinks she would leave him.
Yeah, Byron said that he wouldn't, and he wouldn't blame her because he says he no longer can do his role as like the thing. So it makes sense that this woman leaves him. Do you think these are high quality women,
Well,
or
she's
even
looking for. I don't know, bro. I don't know, Glenn. What are your thoughts on this, Glenn? I'm curious.
Well, for me personally, I think that, it is important for a man to be able to acquire resources. And so if, let's say, I think it's, look, the reality is a woman is going to want, in that case, in that lifestyle that he set up to where like she's used to providing this, if she doesn't have those skills to help provide for the family, she's going to leave it to go somewhere else, right? Because she wasn't trained or she didn't have the ability to provide, and she's grown accustomed to this lifestyle, and anything outside of that is what she thinks is wrong. I think that's a bad pick if you're looking for women that just want to see that or only expect that. She's not committed or she's not invested in the relationship. I think there's more to the relationship than just what money can be provided and what resources can be given. And then that would just mean that though that woman is superficial and she's just off of what the experience is and the lifestyle you could give her, she provides, or that you can provide for her, not the individual or what character about the individual or who is the individual. She's more in love with the lifestyle. And
I feel like
I'm not sure that's a woman that I would want to marry.
and I think at the end of the day, what most of us want is somebody who likes us for us. So when we're looking at a secure, happy, healthy relationship, none of us want to feel like, oh, this person likes me, but if I end up in a wheelchair, if something like this happens, or if I, have a rough patch, that this person's just going to leave. We all want that security. We all want that warmth. We all want that loyalty. We all want the person to feel like they're in love with us. So when you put this money thing as such a high factor, and that's obviously going to attract women like this who are like, okay, yeah, I need somebody that provides for me. Well, then you could be with her for 4 years providing. And then as soon as something happens, some catastrophe happens and that guy can provide. Now she's going to, do you think these are high quality women, or do you think these are high quality relationships?
No, I mean, I'd say if I built up a successful life and I was, working towards myself and a girl was with me through it, and then I went through a rough patch and she just jumped ship right away. No, I wouldn't say that's the best.
Okay, we're reaching. Well, first, real quick, does anyone on the panel have an issue with me adding Zherka? Apparently, he wants to join.
No.
Zherka?
Yeah.
Bring him on. Tell him we're going to fight.
All right. I'll send him the link.
But I got like a 40-minute hard out. I got to go.
Okay, no worries. So we are starting to reach some agreement. My big issue again and we can move on to the next thing. He's backstage, it says. Oh, yeah, he is backstage.
So we are kind of going in circles on this one.
Yeah. I just want to give my final thoughts. My big issue with, I think, the way Red Pill presents the whole money thing is that it tends to encourage guys to lead with their wallet, which I find to be very problematic because it just reduces your chance of being a sustainable relationship, attracts the wrong kind of girl. Some girls are really, really good at hiding their gold digging intentions. For me personally, I never ever pay for anything substantial when I first meet a girl. I'm dating a girl for 3 years or whatever. At that point, maybe I'll buy her a nice birthday gift, but I keep all my fucking first dates super duper cheap because I don't want, to be used for my money, essentially, which I have some of now. What's up?
King Zherka.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah,
Long time no see.
Just want to be with internet friends, bro. Like when I'm with
You're a little
real
quiet.
friends, I don't make $1 with real friends. I miss you guys, bro.
I thought you said I was too much of a fence sitter.
Look, Alex, I don't like you, but I don't have content this week, so I need this.
Oh shit, you don't like me? Damn, man.
No, Alex, we're cool. It's just I don't know. You guys are all teaming up on Jasmine. It's kind of weird.
Wait, what? I'm on Jasmine.
Yeah, you guys are all
about
teaming up
Jasmine.
on her, bro. Every
Wait,
one of you, and she's got better points than you, Sonny. She got better points. All you did is stare at her fucking tits. She's winning as you're hypnotized, boy. I'm here to
I'm not
defend
staring at the
Jasmine.
pic, but yeah.
Jasmine, keep going. Don't let them talk over you. Finish your last point about money.
I'll let Alex take it over from here.
Yeah, Zherka, how much have you followed the discussion?
Yeah, I was watching.
Okay.
Did you have a specific point on the topic?
Here's the question. We'll ask Jasmine since she's here. Have you been with a broke guy?
I mean, it's weird to say broke because for most of my life up till now, I've been in school. So would you consider a guy in law school broke? Like, yeah, at the moment, but I don't know if that's considered broke because
All right, right. Because that's like return on investment potential. No, I'm talking about broke. Like, he just plays PlayStation. You've never been with that?
No.
Oh, wow, you're honest. Usually girls lie. What the fuck? Okay, yeah,
But
she's
I've
winning.
been in that setting, right? I've been in these settings where people are like in like college and then in law school. So where would I've only been doing this a couple years. So outside of that, so I wouldn't have even like the opportunity or the time. A lot of these girls that are dating these guys, they're like Miami girls who are like strippers. They're not meeting. They don't have the pool of lawyers or future lawyers in front of them. So that's why they're dating these guys. That was never a thing for me.
Zherka, didn't you say you were banging more girls when you were working as a bouncer? I could swear I heard you say that. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Yeah, because when you're broke, obviously you want to do something. So that's what I do, right? But now I can't do it. Now I'm a celebrity. Now I have to I got to screen Jasmine properly.
But Zherka, would you say that you had getting around higher I guess more prominent people with more clout making more money? Would you say that the quality of women that you were around changed?
That quality thing it just reflects the male's nature. If he's around hoes, he has a dirty mind. Like 100%.
So wait, is that yes or
The
no?
question once again is, were you hooking up
also,
with?
he's really quiet.
I'm saying that
Zherka's
if you go for one
absolutely
type, you're going to continue to go for that type even after money, right?
Well, we're just talking about you personally, Zherka. Like, do you feel like
personally
you're getting higher quality girls now that you're rich?
Higher quality in personality or looks? In looks, they're definitely better looking. Yeah.
More wifey.
What about personality?
You have access to a more wifey material girl now.
I mean, they have a history, so that's not wifey, But
well, Zherka, you want the virgin wife, right? Like that's the goal.
No, that's a joke. I don't think that's realistic.
That's not the ideal though.
Well, I have a theory that there's no such thing as a good-looking virgin.
What about Farha?
What about her?
She's a virgin. She's a good-looking virgin.
I don't know.
She's nude. She's nude online.
I don't know. Okay, but wait, I like what you said earlier about you will go for the same quality women even when you have the money. So we see this a lot with either new money people, athletes, rappers, that they end up getting all this money and then ending up with a Black China-esque woman, which I'm not saying she's
There's a big echo right now. There's a really bad echo. I'm not sure if it's Zherka or
I don't hear a chat. Can you let me know if you hear an echo?
If you don't hear it, it might be you then.
I heard the echo.
It's her.
Yeah, I hear myself echoing back now as well.
Let me fuck around with some things. Automatically reduce mic background noise. Okay, is it better now? I've just changed it.
Hello.
Yeah, no echo now.
Okay,
but my point is that a lot of times the higher
When Jasmine talks, there's an echo.
Okay, let me adjust her shit. Okay, she should be good now.
All right, am I good?
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of times when you come from whatever, and then you go into this new money world and you get all this money, then you end up with these same type of women, these hoes. You just have more of them, and maybe they're a little bit hotter. They have more followers on Instagram. Is that necessarily higher quality?
I would almost actually disagree with that. I think that a lot of guys who just become rich actually wind up getting used by gold digger. I've seen it so many times. The ones
the thing it points out to what he's saying is not what Zherka's saying that's not being mentioned is that the money doesn't necessarily change the character of the man and what the man is attracted to or what he's attracting. Because if you're a shit person, you could be a shit rich person and you're just going to attract shitty rich people, right? So I think the character aspect of it is what he's talking about. It's not the money.
I thought that's what you guys are asking. What were you guys asking?
Well, not really, because we're actually asking if the women are higher quality, meaning are there women that are more desirable? Whether or not you would actually date them is one thing or another, but are there women that more guys would?
Or yourself personally.
Well, obviously, if the selection goes up and you have more to choose from, the percentage gets higher that you have more quality with the dumpster fire too, right?
Correct.
Right, but do you feel like you're attracting more wifey material girls now that you're rich?
Not the way, but that's how I speak, right? They're not going to come to this. It's because of me. It's not. Women are blameless. They're
I think
delusional like animals, bro.
Zherka is
Like-
saying that you have a bigger pool to choose from. So you'll have a bigger
Yeah.
pool of all different types of women to choose from.
Yeah.
now.
Like
Is
if you want the best ideal scenario, not to cut off you, Queen, but if you want the best ideal scenario for your lifestyle, that tradcon shit, you wouldn't do what Sonny does. You'd move to the countryside. You know,
Yeah.
those country people actually can make it. They have a slim chance. But Sonny's an influencer around a bunch of hoes that love him, and he's famous and all that. So for him, it's always going to be like.
Yeah, but I
It's-
also
it's all-
recognize that like the goal is to go to the Italian hills and find the wifey out there. Like I'm not looking for the wife in Miami.
But
Okay,
you
so
don't have to go there. Like that's the thing that I just fundamentally disagree with the red pill. I agree with you. There's going to be a higher percentage of wifey material girls somewhere in like Europe, but there's plenty of wifey material girls in the United States if you know how to look for them, how to screen.
But they're not hot. No one talks about that. They're not hot. If they're
No,
hot,
there's-
the world
there's-
gets
there's
to them
some-
first.
there's some hot
That's the
ones
truth.
too.
No. If they're hot, the world gets to them first through Instagram, through something. You're telling me that there's good-looking, pure people. Not even in medieval times did that exist. It's a fucking unicorn argument by retard tradcons. And like, bro, unicorn arguments make people kill themselves. It's either she's hot.
What percentage of
What?
women do you think have like a pop in social media where they have a bunch of like thought pics and stuff like that? But just ballpark.
I actually never thought of that.
You don't necessarily need a popping social media to get
It's
attention.
a
though.
small
Like,
percentage. Like half the
even
girls
girls-
have their Instagram set to private.
And Zherka, do you think you're gonna meet the beautiful like ones that are in these insulated, more religious or academic communities that are really hot, but they're not on Instagram or they're not watching this kind of content, and you're sitting here like, yay, hoes are stupid. Like obviously they're not going to be around you. That doesn't mean they don't exist.
Well, they would be around me. I wouldn't be around them because they don't look good. No one talks about this because it's the black pill.
How do you know
Dude,
they don't
she's-
look good if you're not around?
There's no such thing as pure and looks good. Because how women are is they're socially calibrated for attention. We all agree. If they're calibrated for attention, the ones that look good are going to get a lot more of it, meaning they're going to get piped, meaning they're not pure.
All right,
Now,
so would you agree that a girl who's like a 5 or 6 is going to get massive attention anyway? I mean, we've done Tinder
Bro,
experiments.
5 or 6 should be hung in a guillotine. Why are we talking about 5s and 6s?
Well, because I'm trying to prove a point. Like when we did we did an
5 and
experiment.
6s for Sonny and me and you and what the fuck? I'm gonna
Okay,
kill
but
myself with a five.
just listen to what I'm saying though. We did like a Tinder experiment. We took photos of an obese girl. She got something like 500 likes in 24 hours. So even the girls who are not attractive are still getting plenty of male attention. Is there really a difference between 500 likes and 1,000 likes?
Yeah, there is. Because again, 99% of the people these OnlyFans girls have paying for their shit, these girls are afraid of their own fans. So they're not even considered humans. They're not even in the argument.
I agree, but that's a separate point.
Well, we're talking about top 10% of males. Like you're talking about getting Sonny's life fixed. Is that what the show's about?
No,
right?
that's not what the question I asked you was. We're talking about whether there's hot virgins. You said that the girls who are attractive get corrupted because they get way too much male attention. The point I'm making is that pretty much every girl gets way too much male attention. Like again, we've done so many Tinder experiments. It seems like girls who literally weigh 300 pounds will still get like 500 likes.
Yeah, but
so
Alex,
like,
we don't say that part out loud. That's really black pilling. That's way too. You're going too far now, bro. You have to give the audience some hope. You're saying the obese bitch is Kim Kardashian as well.
there
It's
is
true. It's true.
right. There's an upside to what I'm saying, but anyway, that's neither here or there.
I have a question. What do you
Yeah,
think
go ahead.
like affects a woman's likelihood to be a hoe more? Her attractiveness level, and then what percentage of that versus what percentage of her upbringing, her family, her community? Like, let's say she's an Orthodox Jew.
Orthodox Jew. I mean, Jewish women really get around a lot. So I don't
Yeah.
know. And I'll tell you this, bro. Let's just say it like this: every Catholic girl I've been with, they turned out to be the worst ones. So it's
Well, yeah, the ones you've been with. That's a selection
No.
bias.
But I'm saying even if they're pure, they will get corrupted. Women naturally follow, right? So if there's zillions of dollars in the mainstream media pushing them to be hoes, nothing can stop that. Not religion, not family, nothing. It's over. That's why since the digital age,
With attractiveness.
since
Are
the
we JQing right now?
since the digital age started, a 20-year-old chick today is at 12 body count, a regular chick.
Zherka,
Well-
would you say the mainstream media is pushing men to be soft and to be blue pill?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
100%.
and
So
it's
then-
great.
so
It's
then-
less
so then-
competition.
So then why are you not blue pill? How are you able to
I
resist?
am blue pill. I'm defending her. I don't want competition.
Oh,
Let these
come on,
simps stay.
like real
Let these
talk,
simps
real
stay.
talk.
What the fuck?
Come on, give me
If
a
these
real
simps
answer to
pay
that.
the girls, we don't have to anymore. We're going blue, bro. Fuck this red shit. And here's what's funny. We're trying to save men. We're trying to save men. These same simps report our channels and dox us and try and kill us. Let these simps pay for that shit, ruin their lives, and then the top 10% of males, we can just be like the alpha lions. And we have, that's why I don't stay with my real life buddies and I joined a call with fucking kind of strangers, right? Because I'm with the top 10%. Fuck this. We got to leave society. Let it burn. Stop trying to save the world, bro. It's not, everyone's trying to save the world and it's only getting worse.
You're quite good at trolling. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Sorry, no, I was just gonna say. So, should men provide for women, or are we blue pilled and done with that? They should provide for themselves.
You should provide so you own her like a dog.
He's
Yeah.
just trolling.
No, I'm not trolling.
actually
I'm not
not
trolling.
trolling there.
I'm
No,
not trying to get you in trouble. I'm not trolling. Bro, if you go up there and take her on vacations, buy her that Louis V bag of shit and say you can't leave this house, they're not gonna leave. They're gonna be happy. That's a better life. You have more control. You want control and power, abusive power on her.
That's the
right?
problem. That's the problem. See, there's a difference between being in control and controlling. See,
Oh my God, Glenn, I love you. You don't believe this. You don't believe
I
this.
think women are attracted to a man that's in control, but not a controlling man.
But Glenn, check this out. Check this out. Don't you feel like a bitch if you don't pay? Am I the only one?
That's having control, right? I lead, I pay. That's my job. That's what I believe. But like I don't need her to be trapped in the house.
Why do you feel like a bitch if you don't
To your
pay?
point, it's not even necessarily about telling them what to do and being like, bitch, you can't leave. But it's like, are you really the girl that wants to go out? Isn't it almost using like little tricks to be like, you're not that kind
Why
of girl.
have to have
You don't need
tricks?
the money.
You're not telling them, but you're like, if
Like,
you're
why do you need to have the tricks?
You
Like,
literally
wanna-
tell
You
her.
think to psychologically like abuse them through financial that's
How
so
is
that's
that-
Yes.
how-
to go out. That's the girl
Yes.
who's not going out because her like livelihood
No.
depends.
No, that's just having standards. You can say if you want to go out to the club and go out
Yes,
and
but
have
see,
guy
standards-
friends.
standards
Yeah,
is
it's
different.
funny, but there's no tricks
Standard-
required for that. If the girl's the kind of girl that wants to do a lot of shit that you find reprehensible, then you just wouldn't date her, right?
Exactly. Why?
Yeah, you don't
Why?
take her
Like,
seriously.
I don't need to force anybody to change for me.
Agree.
Okay. If you
No,
don't
no,
already
Glenn,
come this way-
Glenn.
if you don't already
You're
come
not
this way,
forcing.
if you don't already
Glenn,
have the values that I have,
Glenn,
then you're
not
obviously
for-
not the one
Glenn.
for me.
Glenn, you're not forcing her to change. They're naturally going to follow whatever's trending. So technically, you're just telling her to go back to regular female nature for thousands of years. And check this out.
If
If
she already
you don't-
doesn't have that regular female nature to begin with,
Okay,
why am I entertaining
question,
her?
Glenn. Are women safer today than they were in the 1950s? Of course not.
No,
So
there's-
clearly, if you say you don't want absolute control over your wife,
What is
you're
that
saying
based
is
on?
you want
Wait,
her
did
to
you
live
say
in a
safer?
more. Yes,
Well,
you want
here's
her to
the
live.
difference. Like, no.
Yes.
You're conflating the two things here.
No,
I don't need
Tinder
to have
age
Crime
is
crime
not
rates are
safe.
way
control
down.
to
I don't know
provide-
what y'all are talking about. The crime rates today are similar to what they were in the 50s. They
No,
went
no,
up
I'm
in the
talking about
80s and
I'm
90s.
talking about I'm talking about rape and harassment and sexual assault.
Well, those
Yeah,
are
violent
Tinder
crimes
dates
especially. Yes,
through
violent
Tinder
crimes
dates.
are like down the most. Yeah.
Those have
What,
dropped.
whoa. Were women more harassed in the 50s or today?
Well, I don't know if
women-
you're right,
women-
but
well, it was a
violent-
little bit different because they had
What?
domestic abuse at
In
higher
the-
rates back then.
In the 50s, there's
I think
women-
rape is worse than being harassed on the street.
It's all check this out. In the 50s, it was very rare that a girl goes on a Tinder date because it didn't exist. So she doesn't get drugged. She's just traditional. She has a safe life. If you don't want absolute control over your girl, you're saying to her,
Women sleep around more
I
too.
want you to be in an unsafe world.
No,
So
no,
all
like-
of you are pro rape. That's the
No,
truth.
if
you don't wanna go back in time,
I
you're
don't
pro-
want absolute
Yeah,
control.
kind of
If
dating
she defers control, if she defers authority, that's different. That means that she's choosing to do so. Nobody's forcing her. It's a choice that she chooses to fall under my leadership. She chooses to live by in the framework that I build, right? That's a choice. Controlling is like You are trying to, woman, don't you dare go out there. If you go out there, I'm going to kick your ass.
Okay, but Glenn, what
there's
about
a difference.
What about a 5-year-old child?
Wait, Zherka,
Hold on, Alex. Before I forget, because I have Dota break. A 5-year-old child, you would be controlling so they don't get hit by a bus. A woman, Schopenhauer and all intellectuals throughout history agree that a female's intellect cannot surpass a child's mindset. It cannot. I'm sorry. So technically, if you want to control a child so they don't get hit by a bus, why don't you want to control your woman to not get hit by the world? Why?
Okay, so real quick, Zherka, you're at like a 85, 90% troll ratio. Can I respectfully ask you to bring it down to like 50% at least? The second thing is that...
Okay, hold on, Alex. If you're not controlling, mainstream media controls her. That's the only alternative. It's more dangerous that way. That's
okay,
all I'm saying.
I totally disagree.
Who controls her, Zherka? I'm joking.
Whatever her feed is her religion. Her Twitter feed is her religion.
Let's explore what you said about women having the mind of an 8-year-old child. So if you actually look at the statistics on intelligence, it is true that men to be on the more extreme end of the range. So all the top chess players, for example, are going to be men, but also all the dumbest people, more of the dumbest people are going to be men. Women tend to be somewhere in the middle, but women, if you average out the intelligence, women are equal to men.
No. Well, check this out. There's never been a female philosopher in history for thousands of years.
Well, that's what I said about the top extreme ranges.
But philosophy is the thinking component. That's all it is.
What about
I got in the top 2% on score on the LSAT, which is a test to test your logic, your ability to analyze, your reading comprehension. I would probably score higher than maybe some of the men in here. So do I still have the brain of a child?
Well, you're still
yes,
on OnlyFans.
yes, you do. Because
IQ.
think of your life choices. You girls make you make short-term decisions. You don't make Joe Rogan $100 million Spotify deal decisions.
Zherka, you make some short-term decisions too. I mean,
yeah, but I'm a guy. I can make men can afford the risk. Women cannot. Once they are cracked, it's over. They're left alone forever.
That's the thing. Well, if I can make enough money now to retire at 35 and I still have
you can retire right now. You're rich.
Exactly. That's my point. So how is that a stupid decision? How is that a childlike decision?
Well, you're going to continue to go against your mental health to make more money, and it's never enough, right?
My mental health, just because you determine that.
Well, don't you eventually want to morph and evolve into a traditional, or no?
Not necessarily. I want an equal. I want a partner. I want a friend. I'm not low IQ, so I can't.
But why would you lie? Why is she like? You say you want an equal, but you said you've never even been on one date with a broke guy. Clearly, you're dating up. You're lying to us.
Well, I've never been broke. My parents have money, so why would I go on a date with?
You make the point that you want an equal. You've never even had an equal. You've never had an equal. You don't even know what it's like.
She's saying that the guys she's dating are the equals. She's saying she's dating across socioeconomic class.
She dates up. Women date same height or above, but it's always above. Same money or more, but it's always more. Check this out. If women date up, it proves they're the inferior gender because they're looking up at us.
Jasmine, who makes more money, you or the guy that you're hooking up with?
Me.
Okay.
Jasmine,
so Zherka, what if a guy dates a woman who's better looking than him and dresses better than him and has better style than him? Is he dating up as well? Because that's how women are graded, right? They're graded based on their looks and like how feminine they are.
No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. Female, her psyche is she'll only open the legs if she thinks he's better than her. If all women only date up, it proves everyone they've ever dated was better than them.
Well, I'm saying guys will only date a woman or have sex with her if she's better than him, if she's better looking, if she's more feminine, if she has like more style and more like she's able to think about these things in a different way than he is. Obviously,
it's the woman's job to open up. Like we're the ones going to them and they're saying yes or no. They're saying yes or no to something that's better than them. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what you're saying is
if she looks better than me, that doesn't mean she's better than me.
What you're saying is not true.
We're looking at the trinity of status, network, and looks. Women cannot complete this trinity. Status, network, and looks, they cannot. They can only do looks. That's the truth.
The idea that women only date up is not actually like in any way supported by the data. It seems the vast majority of couples are within the same socioeconomic class.
No, Alex, you don't understand. I'm saying through her perspective. It might be an illusion. She might be way better than me, but in her eyes, I'm better than her. That's why she's letting me hit it. I'm not saying I'm giving
And where are
objective
you?
facts.
What are you basing this on?
You can ask women. They've done surveys of would you date a guy who makes the same paycheck as you? And the answer is always no.
Or at least
Wait,
What are these surveys?
hold on.
Wait,
Another thing.
Wait,
Alex,
Zherka, hold on.
Hold on.
Let me correct that real quick.
If we look at Carl Jung and all psychologists who's ever like studied women, they said that like 80% of the female consciousness is always lying. That's their reproductive strategy. They're not as open as men. So how do you know what they're saying is true?
The surveys say that women want, or that they are attracted to a man who dates more, not that they won't date a guy who makes the same amount of them or who doesn't make more.
But that's not dating. But that's not dating. That's not dating. No. That's not dating if she's just dating to wait for an upgrade. That's not really dating. That's like slimy shit.
Do you agree there's a big difference between what women say they want and what women actually want, Zherka?
Of course, dude. You know how I know a girl's gonna.
There we go.
You know how I know I can smash when a girl says I hate that Zherka guy. That's like in 100%. I know I have her. That they always lie. You know why they lie? Because deepest seed in their. Let's say we're going on a date, Jasmine and I, right? Let's say she hit the lottery. She hit the lottery, and we're going on a date. Her deepest fear, every woman's deepest fear, is being overpowered, killed, and raped. So. That's why the number one thing on a date is to lower her anxiety to zero. That's when she like do whatever you want, right? But men don't have that fear of getting killed. Now, if they have that fear, the only thing, like if someone pulls up in a Ferrari and says, get in, they hesitate. Even if it's a Ferrari, they hesitate because they're like, what if this guy's a serial killer? They're all fear programmed, meaning there's no truth in their thinking. If you're fear programmed, it means you're a lying machine.
So then why are you dependent? Why are you relying on their survey answers on what they want to determine?
I'm not. I'm looking at the psychologists like Carl Jung, Freud, and everyone else who've done these papers on women. But they all agreed that women are liars.
But you've just acknowledged the fact that there's a big difference between what women say they want and what women actually want. So why would we take the surveys you mentioned at face value?
You don't have to. I'm just saying it's a safer world if you know she's always lying. Like, bro, have you ever asked a girl, are you mad? And she goes, no, but she's actually mad. They're always on lying mode, even if they're your bitch. Right?
Oh my God.
I'm serious. Like, No, Jasmine, don't you agree? Short men are fucking disgusting.
I think Zherka primarily came on to get back on Jasmine.
No, I'm not trolling. Yo, Jasmine, do you agree short men are disgusting?
No, I'm 5 feet tall. What's short?
She's lying. She's lying.
I don't think.
You see how fast that was?
Saying that you wouldn't
Did you
date,
see how fast that
Jasmine,
was?
he's saying you wouldn't date a guy who's shorter than you. So even though you're 5 feet,
Jasmine, have you dated 5'2"?
Probably wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't date a guy in the bottom, like 1% of height, but I date a guy.
No, but Jasmine, have you ever dated a 5'2" man?
Didn't you say that you dated a jockey who was like 5'2" or something like that?
I dated a guy who's like 5'6".
Oh God!
Didn't you date a jockey or something? I thought you said you dated a.
I've never dated a jockey, but I'll date. I want guys in the let's say 50th percentile or higher for height. Even though I could get guys in the 90th percentile if I wanted to. Finding a tall guy is not hard.
Jasmine, can you date a jockey just so we can use that debates, please?
Sure.
Yeah. Can you go date somebody shorter than you first?
Please.
Do you guys want to? I have a bunch of questions. I know that
hold on, Alex.
You don't
Alex,
seem to
I think
have any, but I have a ton.
Tom and Alex, I think it's scary that you guys word this word dating. Would you date? Would you? You guys just said that if they can't get the one that's better than them, they'll settle for the attention of a loser. But this is an admission of guilt. You guys are saying that she's waiting to upgrade and cheat. That's not dating. That's not dating.
Nobody said that.
No one said that.
We all agree that they're waiting to upgrade. If they're dating
we don't agree.
If they're dating someone equal, they're not waiting to upgrade?
Most of the time, no.
Yikes. Wow. So you're telling me if Drake DM'd the average girl, she's gonna be loyal? You're fucking retarded, bro. If Drake said, "Yo, I'm gonna," hold on.
Think about it. With all the allegations about Drake, I think a lot of women are going to be like, skeevy. Yeah, but no, if you're in a good relationship where the girl is heavily invested and she's not a gold digger, no, I don't think most girls will cheat on you. There's some that will, for sure.
We're not
But
talking about us. We're saying the Walmart couple, that ugly monstrosity you see at Walmart. You're saying that fucking bird at Walmart will not respond to a celebrity that DMs?
So
Yes,
first of
she
all,
will.
Drake
Yes,
is
she
not
will
going to DM
upgrade.
her.
She will
Yeah,
literally
of course.
upgrade.
Some couples cheat, but that's why you
No,
want to screen those
no.
girls out before you get into a relationship.
But
You don't want to
Alex,
be in a relationship with a girl who cheats.
Alex, you're making the argument that most average Walmart couples, the girl will not respond to Drake. That's the argument you're making.
I mean, I don't have an exact percentage for you, but I think that if you have a relationship where you've probably screened for all the red flags and the girl's heavily invested, which is going to be a smaller part of, it's going to be a small percentage of relationships. That might be like 20, 30% of relationships, because most guys overlook red flags and most guys have a relationship with the girl's not heavily invested. But assuming the girl
Bobby
is
Aldrin
invested and you screen for a red flag, no, I think in a lot of times the girl will not cheat on you.
And the income doesn't have anything to do with your likelihood of being in this kind of relationship, right, Alex? For what you're saying about like screening girls and being in this relationship, like you're able to do that at 50K and 200K. It's not like the 200K guy.
Yeah, you can do that in any income, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Let me ask. I know you said you have something, Tom. Let me just ask Zherka this quick question. What do you think are good pieces of red pill advice?
The greatest red pill advice I ever heard Myron say, that, like, you know, he has great stuff, but the life-changing stuff that everyone overlooks, when Myron said you will make less money living with a woman, that is 1000% true, and nobody realizes it, because, like, let's say a millionaire is like, nah, I'm making millions. What are you talking about? I have a wife. But he never runs the fantasy if he lived with some Wall Street type cats who are ambitious, if he had some crypto guy roommates, right? For all of human history, the men stayed tribal together, so they're strong. The guys who, if you live with a bitch, bro, you have to live like a king, where she has her own room and you have your own room. She has her own bed, you have your own bed. You have half the castle, she has half the castle. If you're in an apartment with her, she's gonna feminize you, make you weak, make you passive. She's gonna destroy your life, bro. You need to have serious money. You need to have a big place. You need to have a big friend group that keeps you away from her. And you know what's funny? We men love to melt and simp. Bro, I used to cuddle for 12 hours straight without drugs. Without drugs. And yo, the TV was off. Bro, the TV was off. We weren't even watching TV. We're just arguing for 12 hours. For a year, I did that. You know how much money I could have made?
Romantic.
No, I'm not. Imagine the real romantics. They're doing 10 years. I snapped out of it. Right now,
so what do you base that statement on, that you will make less money living with a girl?
I just look at the timeline of history. Why men since hunter-gatherer societies up until last 50 years or sexual revolution, they've always been separated from the women to maximize the potential of the society. You like look at the decay of the West. The decay of the West is happening because they went away from the church. From the 1960s,
but married men make more money. Married men make more money, and most married.
Yeah, but would they make more if they're around the guys that they're making money with? If they live with
men who get divorced also make more than they did when they were married.
No. If you take out a married guy out of that marriage, let's say he's still in the marriage, but now let's say he's a YouTuber, but now he has to live with Alex, Zherka, Sonny. Yeah, he's gonna make more. What is he going to do? You think he's going to go get ice cream with us? All we're going to do is content and make more money. The problem is we love that comfort. Like Jasmine, I know how great that is, you know, to do that to you. But eventually I'm touched this enough and I go, dude, a year went by and my bottom line dropped by 40% in sales. And I never noticed because I love busting on Jasmine.
But then that wouldn't map onto the fact that married men make more money than these single men who live in these little like things.
Zherka, you're also saying it's just
because they're married because they made more money. But how did they make more money? They're around the boys.
Money, their income goes up. Now you're saying, but their income would have gone up more.
Way
if they
more.
Oh but yeah. You don't have evidence for that, other than your own.
Yeah, but you guys gave me evidence for COVID, and it turned out to be a lie.
I didn't give any evidence for COVID.
Okay, all right. Or how about the evidence of is transgender mental illness?
That has. I would say yes. That has nothing to do with me.
How about this? In psychology, since the start of psychology, they said being gay is mentally ill. They recently changed it. Do you guys agree that it's mental illness?
I don't think it's mental illness. I
Oh,
think
why? I thought you had
anomaly.
the evidence. We have 40 years of evidence. Did
Yeah,
the
but
evidence
what-
update?
Wait, we're going on such a massive.
Yeah, I don't want to do these. Can we do experience arguments? If we do evidence, bro, you can find evidence. Remember when they said in the 80s, if you eat fats, you'll turn fat. So don't eat bacon and eggs. Switch to sugars like cereal, and everyone became obese from the high carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Dude, the evidence is skewed. The evidence is a lie.
I understand that there's faulty scientific studies that come out sometimes, but I guess like you mentioned that they all throughout history that they lived with other men. Like at what point in history did married men live with other guys and not their wives? Like I don't
Living would be like 12 to 16 hours of their day would be with the boys. That's living.
But
Like to add on to your point, Zherka, like for a normal person, like even just going out, like let's say you have a business and you have an office where you're with the boys all day.
Exactly.
Like that's healthier than just being around your girl all the time.
Because the psychic,
this is so basic.
Because
too,
there's
like,
even books on sexual transmutation for young men that they should read these books. The psychic content can either go down, like I'm with Jasmine, and it goes down, and I hit that, or if I'm with the boys, the psychic content goes up. It
The
shoots
psychic
up.
content? What is psychic
Yes,
content?
the
What is-
libido is psychic content.
yeah, she also I mean, Zherka, you could add on to this too, but you also respect the guy more when you have less access to him. Like you're gonna enjoy the time more if he's out all day that you have with him than if he's with you all day.
Absolutely.
You should
Yeah.
never be together 24/7, even as a married couple. That's not what I'm advocating for. But going and
No,
living
you're
with-
saying 50-50, which is just as bad.
No, I'm not even saying 50-50. What I'm saying is that men who go off and live with other men in these like college dorms are not attractive to grown women that are married. How are
Really?
you-
Whoa. Wall Street guys at the club are the most attractive, and they all
But
live
Wall
together.
Street, how many Wall Street men live with each other versus live with
They-
their wives?
They spend 90% of the day at the office, actually. 90%.
Yeah, that's fine. But my point is that they come home to their children and to their families and to
They live 10% with their kids. 10% is not living. We're talking about breathing air. 90% of the day is with the boys.
Wait, what was the point in history? Can you just clarify this? What was the point in history where married men lived with other dudes?
For all of human history, the point is to keep the male strong.
No. When?
Yeah,
When
no, but you said we were separating men and women throughout all of human history. When were we separating men and women throughout?
Yeah,
human
it recently
history? When
stopped. Up until the 1950s, boys would go to school,
No.
girls would go to a different school.
No, married people.
Even married couples. Haven't you guys ever seen Twilight Zone, where the man comes home late because 80% of his day is at the office? That's how it's supposed to be.
But that's not
Like-
living with other boys. You're
you
talking
saying-
about living with the boys. At what point in history did married men live with other men?
He's saying that if you lived with other men, you would make more money, and I agree.
Okay, but
Yeah,
there's no,
I'm
but
saying
there's-
that. Then Myron's correct.
but there's no point in history when it happened, right?
No, yeah, I don't even do it. I want to live with a chick.
Right now, aren't gay couples statistically more successful than straight couples because of
We're-
two motherfuckers living together?
We're not
They
talking
bang
about
to get
gay
back
people right now. We're talking about straight people.
No,
Fuck your bros. That's the
hold on.
point. That is the lesson here.
Yeah,
Just
hold on,
fuck your
Tom,
bros. Just
Tom,
get rid of women altogether.
Tom, I'm not saying I'm living this way or you guys or whatever. I'm saying if us four boys who just spent most of our day with the boys, would our paycheck go up? Yes or no?
Zherka saying just fuck the boys. Fuck your boys.
No,
Stop
I'm
voting
saying
men.
you become
I
more.
agree with you,
When your
Zherka.
paycheck goes up, you become more attractive, right? So the best
date-
case
just date your homies.
scenario is don't date till you're a millionaire at 24 years old. Stay with those guys. Then when you live with her, make sure she's not turning into a fucking. If you're turning into a little simp bitch, how do you know if you're turning into a simp bitch? Go to Walmart. Every couple you see at Walmart, the man is a simp bitch, right?
Wait,
Yeah,
so do
Zherka saying dick isn't all that bad.
okay,
I'm,
so
saying,
do you,
I'm
do
saying,
you think,
I'm saying
Thank
you don't want that thing where your wife is looking at Zherka. How do you avoid that? If you
By
have
staying
more
on top of your game,
exactly.
by
more
leveling up,
more
by being the best
resources.
option in the room.
Yes,
but I don't
and
think you
less-
need to live. I don't think you need to live with a bunch of dudes if you're married. And
I mean,
like,
that's
honey,
pretty
we're gonna live separately.
Zherka,
Alex,
the-
If
Alex,
you're living with a
Alex.
bunch of dudes, it's pretty gay.
Alex, I'm not saying you should do this. Like, what's the fastest way to make money? Rob a bank. I'm not saying rob a bank. That's the fastest way. That's what I'm saying. I'm showing female nature degrades male performance. It lowers it.
But you're robbing a bank would be bad advice. So you would say this is
It's
also
not
bad
advice. It's that you wanted statistics.
Even
It's
when
not
a
advice.
boxer's preparing
But
and
so
going
would
into
you-
a
would
fight,
you-
he's not spending time with his bitch all day. He's around the boys and he's not nutting.
It's not
Would you say the
advice, guys.
cons of this though outweigh the pros, and so you wouldn't recommend it, just like robbing a bank?
Well, I don't think men
All
can
you
do
said
it.
was
We
men
like
being-
comfort. We like to squeeze you guys.
But no, also it's more conducive to a healthy household to bring up children, et cetera, et cetera. The
No,
way our,
if daddy is home all day, your kids think you're a
no,
fucking
it doesn't need to be
loser.
home all day. It
Why,
just
why
needs
is it so extreme? Like home all day or not home at all?
Yeah,
what is
like,
this
Because
dichotomy?
check this out. You're either in life, you're either Joe Biden or Trump. Trump
No,
is
you're not. It's not that binary.
Yeah, it is that simple. Because no,
not that
I'm not saying
binary.
that's the. I'm not saying that's the only archetypes. I'm saying there's only two directions you can lean towards. It's better to lean towards being on a jet like Donald Trump, away from his kids, but building an empire so his kids respect him and they want to do more with their lives. You guys are pushing people into the blue world, bro. It's very dangerous what you're doing,
Well,
especially an incel. You think an incel should be living with a woman?
It seems like, well, an incel would not have the ability to live with a woman because he can't attract women. Just as a quick side note about the Trump comment, the only person who does not respect Trump is his wife, as it seems like she wants nothing to do with him. So I don't know how well that strategy is working for being attractive. But like
big divorce, it's a big divorce. Yeah.
Well, like, would you say that you need to make $1 million before you can be successful in a relationship? Like, what if you're making $100K a year?
Still on this money thing, I get off for
I
a
know.
phone call and you guys are still talking about the
You
money.
just brought it back up
Well,
again.
it's not, I don't ever say it's money. I think it's status, network, and looks. If you're filling up 3 of these cups just a little bit, you win. If you fill up the money one, you could be a nerd with money. That's horrible.
Okay, so money doesn't matter then.
No,
he's saying-
money is power. Of course it matters.
Yes,
Power-
and to get
power
the
is
status
resources.
and the network, it's important to get the money first because it builds those up.
Because Alex, remember,
Yeah, do
female
you not
nature-
think, Alex, do you not think if a nerd had money or a nerd was poor, that the nerd with money is going to have better luck with
No,
women
it would be a
than the
nerd
that's
with
poor?
status, network, and looks.
No, but
He'd
he
have
has
to go to the
the
gym.
nerd
He'd
with
have to
money.
have some friends.
Right, but we're saying money is part of that status. That's
It's
what we're
easier
saying.
for
Absolutely,
the
one
for the
Trump,
nerd
yeah.
to upgrade those things with money. That's what. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think status
That's
plays
what
a
I was
big
saying the
role.
whole
I
time.
think looks plays a role. I think network plays somewhat of a role. So yeah, but
The way I look at it is like you need to have charisma. All right,
Of
you should be a
course.
guy that's charismatic. So you walk in the room and people are drawn to you, right?
Aura.
Right. You need to have power or the appearance of power. And what does power mean? It means that you have the ability to achieve the goal that you want, right? Physically or by other means necessary, whatever that is, that you have power, right?
you're a
And then-
problem solver.
Yeah, problem solver, right? And then you have to have your power, charisma, and then the ability to influence. Can you get people to? Can you inspire people to believe in what you believe, or fall into your frame? That's the ability to influence. None of that requires money. You could be broke. You could be broke. You could be homeless, and you have all those traits. So the money aspect doesn't mean anything unless you're talking about resources or you're trying to project a specific image or lifestyle that you have that you're hoping that will attract it. But see, the thing is, if you're wanting a quality woman that's wifey material, right? Wouldn't you want to, showcase those other 3 traits more because that would be more attractive if everybody else is making resources? Or if the money,
I agree with everything you said, with the caveat that I think that if you're broke, that's going to make you less attractive. You need to be middle class.
Yes, less attractive in the sense of like long-term investment or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, just like if you're homeless, like that's your attraction value is going to be right down. You need to be at a point where you're like middle class, and after that, you get massive diminishing returns.
I just think you need to have a balanced approach. You can't if you focus way too much on one thing, you're suffering in other things. If you don't have a balanced level approach where you're trying to constantly improve in all these areas in life, as you continue to grow and as life continues, you want to improve this year more than you want to do better this next year than you did last year, in all these areas. You want to maintain your physical fitness, not just because you want to look sexy, but it's healthy for you to be in good shape. Like a lot of this shit is common sense and this has nothing to do with staying sexy and making sure that this bitch stays in line, but it's also for your own longevity. So
Zherka, do you agree with the concept of leading with your wallet? You're muted, my friend.
Yeah, I was saying the money thing is for network. Like if you're a nerd, but you're a millionaire, now it's very easy for you to get on a yacht with people who have a big network like Fresh and Myron.
Yeah,
so
it's
your
good
life
for
quality goes up. That's what the money's for, really. The net.
Yeah, it gives you the resources to do other things. Absolutely.
The money is like
Sure.
the first step of
But
it all.
I definitely think you should lead with your wallet. You should lead with the largest illusion you can. Like, let's say, if you really want a bitch to fall for you, right? Don't spend a year, all that money on dates for a year, right? The first 2 weeks of meeting her, take her on vacation. This is where you can apply the most amount of manipulation, lead with your wallet. Then you don't ever have to take her on a date, and she'll just stay with you because she's bonded over nice vacations, nice lifestyle. You give her this illusion. Then your job is to establish a bond during the illusion. You take the illusion away and say, I'm never spending money on you again, bitch. And then they stay. That's the charisma part, right?
So that's pretty fucking snaky, if you ask me.
Let
me give you this illusion.
Hold on, Glenn. How snaky is female dating strategy?
So do you
So
say
stop.
you can be equally
not
as snaky?
snaky.
No, like,
I'm saying
let me give you this illusion.
Hold on,
Let me
Glenn,
give you this illusion. Let me give you this
Glenn,
like pretend world that you
Glenn,
think I
Glenn,
got.
stop.
Oh,
Glenn,
now you fell in love with that?
Glenn,
Psych,
you are the-
bitch. Different
Okay,
world.
Glenn,
Like,
check
that's
this out.
so
Check this out.
fucking grimy.
Glenn, if women are the money terrorists, this is just counter ops. We're not being terrorists. We're just guarding our wallet. You could do it your way, where you date her for a year and then you lose way more money. I'm saying it. Do it the fast way. Look.
What percentage of women do you think
Hold
are
on,
money terrorists?
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, is a woman manipulating a man for his time, money, and resources?
Some women.
Do they all do that?
All. What do you mean some? All of
No,
them.
most girls are not.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. What do we mean by manipulating? When we say
Manipulate
manipulate,
means will she stick around with you
Will she
just because you have those things? Even if she doesn't really like you, she'll stick around for the new lifestyle. Will she do that?
Some girls
women
will.
do that.
No, it's
women
not some. It's all, because all of them would
No.
respond to Drake's DM. All of them will
there's-
respond to
there's-
Drake's
there's-
DM.
When you say
Well, yeah, I can see how you would think that, since your strategy is leading with your wallet, so you're going to attract those types of girls.
No, I don't think my bitch would ever respond to Drake because I have status, network, and looks, and I'm funny as fuck. But the average guy doesn't have any of those, so he's fucked. All I'm saying is, if you want to get her, don't follow regular dating patterns of take her to fucking what do you guys do? The fucking Cheesecake Factory for a year? That's boring shit.
I don't do that either. There's a nice middle ground where you don't have to take her on an expensive vacation and then set these expectations that you later renege on, so as to speak.
Yeah, but Alex,
You're
Alex,
only
here's the problem.
Let me just
We're talking about things that actually
the kind of girl that's going to be drawn to the proposition of going on a fancy vacation is not going to be the kind of girl you ever want to date, and that's going to be the kind of girl that probably will be a gold digger. But yeah, you can. There's a nice middle ground where you could meet up for the girl with a drink, pull her back to your place, bang her, and then you can have a pretty chill.
That's really working for men today. Come on, bro. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, okay. Leading with your wallet is also really, really working for men. Yeah, that doesn't result in guys being used for every dollar they have.
No, I'm saying just go by how her brain is wired. Her brain is wired for first impressions. So the first 2 weeks of meeting her have to be magical. Then you can do whatever the fuck you could beat the shit out of her. She won't leave you. You understand?
See, like that is
No.
that bullshit. That's that.
Well, don't
bullshit
beat
right
on her.
there.
I'm not saying beat on her. I'm saying you have the
Well,
option.
you're saying sell her a dream, make her buy the dream, and then
Because
pull the dream away from her.
Glenn,
Yeah. How long did that work for Fresh?
You guys assume she's not selling you a dream with the lies, the makeup, I'm actually free body count.
Where does someone doing wrong give you the right to do wrong?
It's not wrong. It's counter ops. She's the terrorist. I'm doing counter terrorism.
I think for your type of relationship and your type of women, go for it. But that's also not
all types of women. All women. Look, bro, I worked at clubs for 5 years.
clubs, exactly.
No. Whether they're married, good people. I've worked at regular sports bars. They always try and cheat with me because they want toxic. This is what the red pill is be toxic so she loves you. Okay?
Well, I do appreciate you.
And look at this. I'm not saying
I
hit
would
her.
think that.
They're saying clubs are already a specific type
I'm not
of woman.
saying
though, like
I'm
type
not
of
saying
woman.
beat her up. I'm saying don't waste your life listening to this panel's advice. Look at the statistics of women who get beaten on and they still stick around.
How does
They
that
love
support
the
the argument?
toxic. They're
This
fucked
brings
up,
up an interesting
bro.
point. This actually brings up an interesting point. We're talking about everything that we've talked about the guys like leveling up and having these metrics. but and this will get you the more options, whatever the case is. What about the part of like what a guy should actually look for, or what should, for a woman when he wants a long-term relationship, what qualities? I think that's what's missing here. Because the guy can level up. The guy can level up all the way up, and he could be
Glenn,
I don't know.
whatever.
The guy can level up, but if he doesn't know what he's looking for, and for a relationship that's going to be a good relationship, then he's going to keep on running around to the same problems that he has. So he needs to understand what he wants in a woman first, what kind of character he wants in a woman.
Come on, we all want the same shit.
How to carry herself? How does she want her to present herself? What he decides as what he would fit as. This is the type of woman I want to meet or be in a relationship with. That's important. If he doesn't have that part first, he's not going to understand. It doesn't matter how much he levels up, how much money he has, whatever all this experiences that he could give her, whatever dreams he could sell her. He's still to the same problematic women.
Wow. Well, but Glenn, you got to see it as like an alchemist. Every woman is dirt, and you polish her till she's gold. You have to change her nature because she's programmed since 12 years old by Britney Spears and mainstream media that spends zillions of dollars programming her. You need to deprogram. Stop thinking, I'll just look for a unicorn. You have to literally mold the unicorn.
You have to fuck the feminism out of her. That's what
So
he's
do
saying.
you think?
And with the more dicks inside of them, it hardens.
Do you think you can take a? Do you think you can take a gold digger 304 who's a massive cheater and turn her into the kind of girl you want?
No,
100%. It's not worth it for most guys. I've done this many times.
Okay,
100%. You're asking, can you change a woman?
I'm asking, can you radically change a woman?
Absolutely.
And the answer is no.
Absolutely. Yes, you can.
Hold
on. Alex, if you're the right guy, can you do it?
You can inspire her to change for herself.
I don't think you're gonna.
Alex, what if you're Drake? Can Drake change them?
No.
Drake can't offer her a ring and she stops being a hoe.
A liar is still going to be a liar.
Oh, come on, bro.
A disloyal woman will still be disloyal at some point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah, Drake's surely getting cheated on. Come on, bro.
But I think you could inspire.
Drake seems to have a whole bunch of other issues.
You could inspire her. She's going to have to want the change. Are you going to be a guy? Could be the reason she wants to change because she wants him in his life, but you cannot force her to change. You can't force anybody to change, but you can inspire them to change.
Bro, women change every day. They're literally like monkey brain. One day they're a feminist, one day they're a vegan, one day they're a retard. Every day they're a retard.
Someone who's a chronic liar, you're not going to get them to change and stop being a chronic liar. Someone who has no morals, you're not going to get them to adopt morals. You mentioned Fresh earlier. How well did promising the girl the world work for him?
Which girl? I don't know Fresh's personal life. Which story?
The
one that's all over the internet.
What's the chick's name? Oh, Daisy.
Yeah.
I'll say this. For what most guys want, Fresh actually gets it. He gets 1 year with any chick he wants in Miami. That's what most guys want. So clearly he's doing something right. Where he fails, I don't know. I don't know his life.
Do you not follow the story at all?
Yeah, she got what? She got knocked up?
Yeah, she got knocked up.
And then she got an abortion and went on a press tour.
Yeah, that's neither here or there. She wound up severely hurting his business. She wound up, like fucking causing massive stress and anxiety. I mean, overall, it was a massive disaster.
Wait, Fresh has no anxiety.
Fresh
it's his reputation that got.
Yeah, his reputation just got annihilated.
What? Really?
The 304s on Instagram, not to get
laughing about it.
You're responsible. Wrap it up.
Hold on.
Impregnated an Instagram model.
Wait. The way I saw it is Fresh is laughing in his $1 million Aventador with badass bitches while this panel is trying to be like, what? You guys are trying to take him down because he's better than you?
I'm not trying to take anybody down.
I'm bringing up an example because you mentioned Fresh earlier, and you were talking about promising the girl the world.
Dude, a guy who barely thinks and has a speech impediment does really good with women because he understands the game. He doesn't do this Cheesecake Factory style dating. Oh, 50-50. Jasmine, you want 50-50 with me? I'm fucking Brad Pitt. What the fuck you mean 50-50?
Yeah, he promises the girl the world, and then sometimes it comes back to bite him in the ass. Like this was the game.
Hold on. Has it ever bit you in the ass?
I don't promise the girl the world, so
no. Have you ever been fucked over?
Have I been fucked over by a girl? Not any girl I was in a relationship with.
Oh my god, this is a lying podcast, bro. Get the
what do you mean? Like fucked over. I'm very careful. I'm very careful about getting into a relationship with a girl. I scheme very aggressively. So no, I've never really been fucked over by any girl I was dating.
You've never made a mistake. You've just been with the right bitch every single time.
No, I have made mistakes. I've just never been fucked over.
No girls ever. You've never had a bad breakup?
No, I'm chill with all my exes.
Okay, that just means none of them give a fuck about you, bro. Like when you love
Or
someone,
he didn't give
you
a fuck
argue
about
like
them enough.
when you,
I mean, it can mean a lot of different
No.
things.
no. When you
It just
love-
means that I didn't misrepresent myself and there's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
no. Listen,
mean
the
a lot of things.
opposite of love is not hate. Hate. We love our family, but we also hate them sometimes. But check it out. The opposite of love is
Not true either.
indifferent. What Alex has admitted is during his breakups, the girl was indifferent about the breakup, meaning she didn't have genuine burning desire. That's the truth. I'm winning.
No,
by the way. I'm winning.
the girl might have been upset, but there was no hard feelings because I didn't cheat on them. She didn't cheat on me. There was
Alex,
no one
that's
got fucked
bad.
over.
That means you never established a bond. That means she never got
What the
jealous.
fuck are you talking about? You can absolutely have a bond and still not have hard feelings afterward.
Bro. She literally just said bye.
Who you choose.
That's not at all what happened. That's just like your
you're saying-
imagination
you're
right
saying-
now.
According to Zherka's logic, is unless the bitch is trying to key your car and set your house on fire,
Yeah.
you weren't the man.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, Glenn, how spicy is your relationship get? You guys argue and
we
you guys
good. Yeah, we spicy, but we good.
Yeah, but if you guys broke up, would it be like cordial?
No, I would never talk to her again. she would be an ex. I don't talk to any of my exes.
It would be your two personalities. It would be so explosive if you guys broke up. It would be.
Boy, I know you see us. You seen us.
Yeah, you guys are cool, but imagine if you guys broke up. You guys both have a temper. Imagine the calamity, right? Because you guys
There could be, or I could just like not give it attention.
Okay, Glenn, am I crazy that I think the girls that Alex has been with, they break up and they go, Alex is a great guy. We just didn't work out.
Well, first of all, I've never had a girl break up with me. Every single one of the relationships I've been in, I broke up with a girl.
So we're on the lying podcast. No woman that's
This is
ever
the lying
broken
podcast.
up with you.
No, I've been in 5 relationships and none of them the girl broke up with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
so can we get
I don't know why you think you know my like past dating life better than I do. I mean, I guess are you saying that most of the relationships you've been in, the girl wound up hating your guts afterwards?
I've never been broken up with because they always come crawling back.
Oh, of course. Okay. So
But I have been broken up with because I'm human. You're saying you've never been dumped.
no. I've been only in 5 relationships.
Man on earth. This is the greatest businessman on earth, bro. You're the only man on earth to have a perfect score.
Can we get back to like the point of the debate?
It's not a perfect score. It's just that I'm very selective about who I date. And the 5 girls, I mean, there was one where it was like a mutual parting of ways because she moved and it was just not going to work out long distance. Where we both just agreed that it wasn't going to work out.
Same time you woke up at 3 a.m. I want to break up. You guys said it at the exact same time.
That's not how adults handle things. We had a discussion when she got into grad school, and we talked about it, and we realized that long distance is not something neither one of us want to do.
Who initiated the conversation?
Dude, this was like fucking 7 years ago. I don't remember who initiated. I don't remember who initiated the conversation, but the idea that for example, that unless a girl breaks up with you, like what, you're not a man, or unless you get into like an argument with a girl, the girl hates her guts. I mean, you're saying that no girl ever broke up with you. You're saying no girl ever broke up with you, but
yes,
then
they have. I said they have. They just came back, but they still broke up with me. You're the one with the perfect score. You're like Tom Cruise, bro. You're like fucking awesome.
You know, so it's something
not what a perfect score is.
Another point that, like you said, the red pill. What good has the red pill do, or what good has talking points, right, Alex? One thing is the thing that makes guys want to constantly improve, and I think that's something that all guys should have, but it does kind of like in a negative way. It presents a negative outlook, like, hey, if you don't level up, your woman will leave you, or you could leave you. That's not necessarily a bad thing to have to worry about. Like, you don't want to be complacent. You don't want her to get complacent, right? You don't want her to get fat and unattractive, right? So she should have a little sense of dread. You need to be on your game. You need to be leveling up on your focus, do your thing so that you're always the best option in the room. Don't get complacent. A lot of people think that like, oh, love it, you're gonna love me forever just the way that I am. No, that love is conditional. It should be. Everybody wants it to be unconditional, but it's conditional. So if you're not doing what you got to do in any relationship, whether you're dating or you're married, if you're stop doing all the shit that you were doing to get them attracted to you in the beginning, you're gonna lose. So
100%.
whatever you did to get her to the altar, you got to do that and more 20 years down the road if you want a
Yeah.
successful relationship.
Like you have to be the best guy in the room in order to have this kind
Well,
of relationship.
no, it's not like the best guy, but you have that desire to like always improve. You want to be the guy that like, you know, that's constantly moving forward. You know, you don't want to be the like every time you go somewhere, it's like, oh, that guy's better than me.
Girls, these track girls, they date like guys that aren't like, they just have that like, oh, I just want a humble life and a family. Like this is the
You could be humble, but still want to be the best at, you know, what you do.
Yeah, like be a good person, work to improve yourself.
Yeah.
That's fine. The idea of being in a room and having to outperform other people in order
It's
to have.
That's
like
not what
trying
he
to
even said. He
outperform
just
them.
said you just.
I'm
need
not trying to
keep progressing.
outperform anybody, but I'm just trying to still constantly improve. I want to improve from today to tomorrow, constantly working forward, constantly improving, not get complacent and not like just be stagnant. Because that's a.
I mean, Glenn, I can add some context. All right.
Go ahead, Zherka.
All I teach my guys, and I have to drill it through their head because it's like they forget. You look, women see ones and zeros like the Matrix. You're either it or you're not. They either like you or they don't. These are archetypal patterns. You have to fit the mold of her literal dad, not her nerd dad, the dad she's always wanted, in her animus, Jung would say, right? You have to fit that. As time progresses, you have to be more of the dad. You have to wipe her ass more and more and more like a child, and then they stay with you. If she never sees you as a dad, you're getting replaced quick. Very
Zherka,
quick.
do you think that that's why when you're having sex with the girl and you're in like your most primal state, that's why they call you daddy? Is it because of that, or that's separate?
No,
You gotta ask
separate.
Jasmine. You gotta ask Jasmine that. I don't know.
Wait, Zherka, every girl that you've dated, you were similar to her dad? Is that what you're saying?
You take
No,
the archetype
the
of the dad.
Alex, you're not following. It's not her biological dad. It's the archetypal experience of every male she's encountered that is the animus. This archetypal energy in her psyche. Like for a man's soul is feminine, it's his anima, meaning all female experiences you've ever had, girlfriend, mom, cousin, they all turn into this angelic being in your head. Now, when a girl doesn't fit that mold, let's say the mold is like angelic being of beautiful and pure, and she starts cussing. Now you get angry. Why are you cussing? The perfect girl doesn't cuss because it's that perfect mold she's not fitting. She has the same mold for you. That mold is the dad. It's to be taken care of. She's the passive lunar principle. You're the active solar principle. Alex, you need to start reading books. You can't just give advice, bro. Come on.
What books did you read this in? I'm curious.
Psychology. Don't sell dating advice.
Which books?
Alex,
Which ones? Which psychology books?
Study
The book Psychology.
Psychoanalysis with Freud and study Carl Jung, archetypal phenomena. But now check this out, Alex.
So if I read those, it's going to say what you said.
Alex, if you want to make serious money in the dating market, don't sell dating advice. Sell them psychology. It literally works. Like, think about it. Can a therapist manipulate their patient? Yes, they can. They know how to do it. That's what dating is. She's taking your time, money, and resources, manipulating you, and you're trying to put a stop to it. That's all it is.
But
The underlying disagreement is that you seem to believe that pretty much every girl is going to try to manipulate you, and I think that you can screen those girls out very easily, and that's not the majority of women.
Mm-hmm.
No, majority of women.
The therapist
Hold
is
on.
in an authoritative position.
Here's the
too.
difference from your mom and a woman. Right now, you're seeing women as your mom, like pure.
No, no.
I'm on
check it out.
Let's
say I'm okay. So I'm banging Jasmine from the back, and now I'm dating her. Right?
I knew he came on just to flirt with Jasmine.
Why so specific and detailed?
Because she's the only girl on the call, right? Right. And I don't want to assume genders, but now check it out. Let's say I'm with Jasmine and I start doing heroin. My mom will try and find and save me my life if I'm doing heroin. Jasmine will abandon me in 1 week. Even after a 10-year relationship.
I think all your friends would do the same exact thing.
How fucking evil they are. Alex is ruining people's lives saying women aren't that bad. They'll leave you if you're going to kill yourself on heroin. They're not like your mom, bro. They're nothing like your mom. You're so stupid.
Why are you so attached to the idea of banging a girl who resembles your mom?
Now check it out. If your wife, now check it out.
That's pretty natural, actually.
If your wife,
it's not.
Now, if your wife of 10
be attracted to someone that's like,
yo, Sonny, check this out.
All right,
Sonny,
let's hear it.
If your wife of 10 years started doing heroin randomly alone, you would go save her because you're not as rotten as women. That's the truth.
What?
That's the truth. Men try and save these bitches.
I can't even tell how much of this is
That's such
trolling
an
or not.
exaggeration.
No,
but
Alex, you say it's trolling because it harms your money. It damages your money. What I'm saying, because you want to teach people. You want
to go into personal motives? Don't you have a dating course,
Alex, are you
Don't you have a dating course like I do?
Yeah, but I'm actually rich off mine. But now check this out, Alex.
Oh, okay. So you make money, so therefore you're correct.
Because I'm actually telling the truth, Alex. You can't lie to people and say women are like sugar, spice, and everything normal.
No one's saying that. When did I say that?
Bro, you're making the argument that they're as pure as men. We save women. They don't save men. They abandon them.
But you don't think a woman has ever saved a man?
One example, go.
My girlfriend when I was sick.
Sonny, Zherka is evidence that the red pill rage actually never ends, and this is you in 10 years, homie.
Wait a minute.
I'm not even.
Look at yourself in 10 years.
I like a lot of Zherka's advice, but
no, check this out. Check this out. Let's be honest, Tom. You've never read books.
I've read many books. Yes, I've read maybe like 4 or 5 this year.
I don't actually think you've read that many books.
I think there needs to be more of a. Anything to the extreme is bad. So
no, I want to know, Tom. What advice do you give since you're so smart?
Who? What advice on what? What specifically are we talking about?
Give some dating advice. I want to hear how generic and stupid it sounds.
If you have to give me something specific. If you want just general advice, I'm going to give pretty much general things.
No, the floor is yours. 10 minutes. Incels are lonely. Don't choke. Don't choke. Let's see it.
I am not choking. I'm asking you a question. You are not answering it. What do you want advice on?
Incels, how do they cure their loneliness and build the courage to talk to girls?
That is the
you read a lot of
for them to talk to the girls. You just gave it in the answer. Yes, talk to girls. Yeah, like you can't. If you want to tell them how to talk to girls, like you can't just give like some simple like little advice on like this is how you talk to girls. This is how you do it. Just
what a snake oil salesman looks like. This is what you want to give people like one little dumb little thing and say, hey, this is the fucking talking point. Just take this. Whereas like it's more nuanced. You actually have to teach them how to have charisma, how to have personality, how to interact with people, how to understand facial signals and body signals and all this shit. You're saying like, oh, just tell them. You're the snake oil signal. You had me at facial
in like
signals,
3 seconds. How to do it. That's what is
she raises her eyebrows. It means she wants to.
Yeah, what does it mean when she raises her eyebrows?
It means she's surprised.
The only piece of advice you've offered is that all women are highly manipulative. They need to tell them the dream and spend thousands of dollars on a vacation. But of course, that will not attract the gold diggers. That's the only piece of advice I've heard so far.
I didn't say you go take her on a vacation. I said first impressions are the most important.
You literally said that earlier. You said take them on a fancy 2-week vacation.
You're teaching men to take them on regular, average dates. They're already doing that, Alex.
Zherka, you have no idea what my content is. What do you think is an average date that I encourage guys to take girls to?
Well, you go to the bar, have a couple drinks, right, bro?
Yeah.
And how many eyebrow signals till you can grab her dick?
Grab her dick? What? The fuck are you on?
Would you not say that like the best first date could be like, let's say you're already going to like an event or doing some cool shit. Like if you were in Miami and we were going to dinner or some event and I just text a girl to come along, is that not one of the most ideal first dates because there's other people around?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nothing about that ideal. An ideal first date is just you and the girl, not you and your friends. And
where do you go to school?
Whoa, Alex, you're saying that if you're out with a group of people where she feels more safe, you guys all go to a bar together, your chances don't go up with her?
Yes, to add on to Zherka's point, she also wants more social validation from other chicks and people that you're not a creep. So if you're around other beautiful girls and other successful people, it shows that you're not a fucking weirdo and you're not.
Why would you just not hang out with her solo after you're done hanging out with your friends?
Well, no, he's saying that the first impression is friends. He's right. Sonny, you're 100%.
The first what?
The first impression.
He's trying to eradicate her anxiety. He's right. He's correct.
So you should befriend a girl.
You should reframe it. Reframe it into you should befriend a girl. He's literally giving you better advice. He's giving you better advice so you can make more money, Alex.
I feel like I've only given good
advice. I'm already doing fine with money. I know you're really concerned about my wallet, but I'm doing okay, Zherka. I'll be all right.
Alex, you're a dating coach who said, Sonny, it's better to be one-on-one on the first date than at a bar.
100% of this.
I agree.
What?
I agree.
Oh, okay. So it's a better first date. You're gonna have a more chance of closing if you bring your boys and bring some random girls. That's gonna be better than
You
being
just brought a
one-on-one
bunch
and
of
being intimate.
distractions. You just brought a bunch of distractions,
Oh my
and now
God.
you didn't get to
If
learn
you hold
anything
on,
about this individual.
hold on.
It's
Hold on.
out
If we're
here.
you guys are making the argument for a hookup, which is great.
No,
No,
I-
for a relationship
No, no,
too.
this is
Take the
great.
argument for getting to know somebody on a
No,
first
no.
date.
Yeah, but why would clubs be packed with people if a social environment is not the key? You
That
idiot.
would not be an adequate first
It
date
also
if you're trying to get to
People
know
don't
this
take their
individual.
dates to clubs.
It doesn't
Like, if you
have to
don't
be.
know
It
her,
could be a
why-
bar. It could be a bar where she feels safe. It could be a movie theater with your friends.
But why do you need your friends there? Do you need your friends to hold your hand
Go into the
while you flirt with a girl? Like, why do you need your friends there?
It's a higher. He's saying it's a higher percentage. I don't do it. I don't need to do it. But if I want a 100% success rate, I'm going to show her status, network, and looks. Meaning network as friends.
So that's a lot of
lifestyle.
virtues.
Okay, so you're, just to clarify this,
Yes.
so if you want a 100% success rate, you're going to bring your friends to babysit you on the date.
No,
That's
it'll
not
be
even
her
what we're
friends and
saying.
No,
my
because
friends.
he's
What
saying
the
bring
Oh,
your
so you're going to do a group date where all her friends are there and all your friends are there because girls never cock block each other, right?
But now he's saying
Well,
like
you gotta
bring your
know how
friends
to-
to co-sign that you are really a guy that's really cool and want to hang out with and be around.
You're just
Like,
bringing her
it-
into
it
your
just-
element. I don't care.
How
why
about
this
you just
is
like
such
have
a-
her find out that? I mean, you don't
Wait,
you don't
the other
actually
thing you guys are
demonstrate.
missing is if you're
So just
bringing her in.
demonstrate it, but you don't demonstrate it like, all right, I have to create this plan, and okay, guys, I need Alex and Tom to show up at this time and give me a high five when I say this. Like, that's stupid. Just like, hey, be the guy. If you're the guy, you're the guy.
That's not even what I said. I said like if
I wasn't
there's
talking
something
about
going-
you. I wasn't talking to
Okay,
you.
but all right. Well, I'm saying that's not what I said because my whole point of the first date is getting attacked so much. Not only are you bringing her into your element, but you're also putting her on the same team as you with
Yeah.
everyone else. So then you can divert your attention. So then she wants your attention more, and then you can come back and joke with her and build the relationship more than just some stupid one-on-one date where you're asking interview questions the entire time.
Brilliant.
It's not, you could
You can have a one-on-one date where you don't ask interview questions the whole time.
Exactly.
The fact that you guys
It makes
need
it
your friends to
easier, though.
hold
You
your
don't need
hand
to talk to
on a
a girl.
date is kind of more of a self-snitch on
You know
yourself.
what?
I
The
never
idea that
said
you're
that.
going to have a
Funny,
better
you think-
success rate by bringing your friends on the date. It's like some middle school shit.
You did say
What are you
something-
talking about? Most hookups happen in party social environments, friends on
Again,
friends.
Yeah,
Idiot.
That's not
especially
a
if
date.
your other
That's a
friends are
hookup.
already
That's a
hooking up
girl
with
you
girl.
meet.
It's a
And then
better
you pull her
I
that
just
night.
said to get her
Sonny, you said
quickly into
something I
the
like.
bed.
Okay, you said take her on a date that someplace that you're already going. I kind of like that idea. If you like these restaurants, you take her on a date to the places that you
Yeah,
like.
that's
If you end up
fine.
canceling, guess what? You're already going there anyways because you like that place. Like if you know, that's cool. That's fine. And
No,
I have no
listen,
problem with that.
listen. We're saying that it always morphs into a one-on-one date after bowling with your friends and a couple of her girls where she feels safe. That's what we're saying. It's going to morph into one-on-one. If you're just with Alex and so what college do you go to? I go to this college. That's a lower percentage. They want to have drinks, have fun with a bunch of people where they feel safe. When they're one-on-one with a guy, what would psychologists say? Their number one thought is this stranger going to kill me? You want to eradicate that feeling, guys. It's not about.
But you don't do that either. You don't bring
I
girls
don't need
into
to.
it.
I'm the
nobody's
fucking
talking
king.
about taking her out in the woods with a picnic basket and say,
Yeah,
we're
what
like,
the
you know, like nobody's doing that.
All right,
It's the
let's
same thing.
let's ask the one girl. Let's ask the one girl on the panel. Would you think? Would you be more likely to hook up with a guy or date a guy, or just at least go back to his place if he brings his friends and you bring your friends, or if it's just a one-on-one date?
One-on-one date, but even
No. You framed that wrong. What if it's you guys, your friends, and then you guys branch off from the group, go on your one-on-one date? That's how all hookups work. She's lying.
No, they're not.
That's literally you reframed it so she's never alone with the guy with the group. If you frame it where she eventually ends up alone with him, that
You're
guy's
not
always
guaranteed to isolate the girl because her friends could cock block.
Why would her friends cock block if you're bringing?
Because
her
women do.
Because girls do that shit, man. You're
If you
adding
have your
unnecessary
friends girls-
complexity to the situation.
But what if a dragon
You don't
shows
think
up?
that going that
All right, so this kind of like really
like
is not,
first
like
or
way
second
left
dates
from what this
is
debate
more
was supposed to
beneficial,
be about.
Alex?
What? Say that again. Sorry. What?
You don't think that group dates are more beneficial on like first or second dates for
No,
for
I
like
don't.
early on?
What?
No, absolutely not.
Really?
But most
Yeah.
people
I don't
need.
know.
Hold on,
I don't think we're from
I
Most
don't think
people
you bring
need
a
more
woman
mutual.
or bring a girl that's like you're not really sure if that's the thing yet to your peoples until like for sure that you guys are dating now.
Yeah. If you like her, sure, I'll introduce her to my
But don't
friends.
just bring some random broad to like your group of friends. Like that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
you
that
guys are
different.
framing it wrong. You guys are all liars. Most people meet through mutuals. In a
That has
mutual
nothing to do with
environment.
anything.
What the fuck?
Totally unrelated
You
things.
meet and then you
I want
branch
to
off. That's
go
all.
hang out with my friends. I would never go.
Yeah, the
What?
first thing she's thinking is like, is
Jasmine,
Carlton
you-
White going to be there? Because this might be a
Jasmine,
real bad situation with
Jasmine,
him and his
Jasmine,
friends.
you're saying you have never been to a party with your friends and then you go with one guy and hook up.
Totally different. You're
I never-
totally
What
different
are you talking about,
analogy.
bro?
Totally fucking different.
That's 90% of her hookups. She won't admit it. That's
You're talking about
90%.
something completely different.
You guys are losing.
I also wait. Another thing is I didn't even say a group date. I literally just said if you're already doing something. So like
Yeah.
if I'm going to meet other guys or just if I'm going to the cigar lounge and I'm talking to a girl.
Okay,
you
sure.
You don't even need to be talking to the girl the whole time for her to be attracted to you either. Like I've actually noticed that girls are more attracted when I'm talking to other guys and they see me doing my thing.
Nailed it. That's
is
real
more-
advice.
That
Nailed
is
it.
more
Because
attractive.
we all know women love a guy that can talk to other men. Okay, sure, that might be your argument, but Zherka's talking about specifically that the ideal first date is something that involves your friends.
Chaperones.
Yeah,
I'm
chaperone.
not saying it's.
Chaperone.
I'm not. I'm saying it's the fastest way
Guys
to
are-
eradicate her anxiety. Jasmine would never admit it. 90% of her hookups, her girlfriends were around, and then she branched off from her girlfriends, and Zherka piped. That's 90% of the people meet. Through, that's how it works, bro.
Have you been
I'm
spying
telling
on
you,
Jasmine?
This whole thing is just Zherka's master plan to try to bang Jasmine. This is what
No,
it
I'm
all
just-
comes down to.
I'm feeling her mind so she doesn't cut her wrist. But check this out now. I'm telling you guys, if your style worked, your style is the default, and men have never had more trouble. Your default position is not working, clearly.
What seems like more blue pill
Well, wait a
than
minute, wait a
shit?
minute, wait a
Going on a little chaperone group date with a girl,
I don't
or
know.
going on a
reframe
solo
it. Let
date.
him reframe
I think a very false equation because one, you don't know anybody's method or plan or options that they would choose to say. You're assuming you're saying your guys' plans don't work. Well, you don't know everybody's plan. You wouldn't even know everybody's suggestions.
Glenn, you're a giant muscular pastor that looks like a psycho killer. Like women are afraid. They're a little moist. They like it, but they don't. Just admit they don't want to be one-on-one with you. But when you're at the bar with a couple of your buddies, she's with a couple of her friends, you're doing way better. Just admit it.
I normally am at the gym. I don't go to the bar, so
Glenn, you're saying one-on-one. You meet a stranger off Tinder. She's super cozy with you. Date one. Come
I
on,
can't
you're
tell you
It's
because I
also-
don't date.
Yes,
any
there's
apps.
girls out there that will go on a date with you without chaperones.
It's
Yeah,
also
crazy.
about even just getting the date closed. I feel like it's a lot easier to even get a girl on a date if there's other people around.
No, I disagree with that as well. I think a lot of girls will
You're
the idea
not-
of your
you're
friends
not
being there, they'll be like, "Ugh, weird."
Yeah.
Well, no,
I don't-
I think they're talking about like group
I
dates. Like they're
disagree,
not
bro.
talking about just like having your friends around. They're saying like
Yes.
double dates or triple dates or something like that. Because women are normally afraid of men on a first date. They don't know who he is, if he's a creep, if he's gonna
Exactly,
fucking do something.
yes.
What?
Yeah.
So
What?
they're in a group. And
Again, man, you can pick.
Thank you, Tom. Tom is honest. Thank
But
you.
you could plan like good dates, okay? You
Yeah,
can
no,
go
let
to
me
dinner
say
and a
one
show,
thing.
right? You could go watch a live band perform. That could be a first date.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you know,
because
like,
you
there's
go
so many
somewhere
different things you can put them in public
tell your
settings that don't
friends
have to
you're
put them
going,
in
but
like
you don't
isolated
bring your
moments.
friends unless you're like 17. Why would you bring your friends on a
It's
date?
not,
Like,
oh my god,
what
you're not
do you-
even listening. I
Jasmine,
didn't say
Jasmine,
bring-
how many if you guys could see this girl's DMs, she will reject a million dudes who say they want to meet her.
We literally did a video showing her DMs.
Check it out. No, but check it out. This is what girls do. They'll reject a million dudes who say, "Hey, Alex wants to go on a date," but the one guy who says, "Hey, come to this nice party," her and her friends, always go to that party.
Exactly.
They always go to that
Because
party.
that's not a
They
date.
always
No,
go
they
to that
don't.
party.
And
They always
And
go
then
to that party.
under that
They
premise,
always
that's
go.
not a date. You invited her to an event.
That's the point.
Not a date.
The first impression has to be better than the default. Your default doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It's worked in the
What is
50s.
my default?
Your default is you meet a stranger and you take them to Cheesecake Factory one-on-one.
I never even said any of that. So
Yeah, what is your obsession with Cheesecake Factory, man?
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit
You
you.
bring it up over and
You
over.
mean with the woman who refused to go on a date with a guy because he drove her to the fucking Cheesecake Factory?
You
for their
guys
first
are
date?
making the
She was upset.
argument that women are not socially calibrated. They need groups.
No one's making that argument. No one said that.
Wait, another thing that Jasmine kept saying is, I'm bringing people on the date. No, I'm bringing the girl on an experience that I'm going on. It's different. So,
But with
Okay,
your friends
sure.
or with her alone? Because no one wants to go if your friends are there.
yeah, but it's typically my friends and some girls. Like, if we're going on a boat or if we're going to like a
Yeah,
dinner
exactly.
or if we're
So
like
these are
going to
the
the
ones
beach.
I want to
It's
go
like,
on a
hey,
boat.
come tag along. And it's also
Girl,
about the way you ask it. It's a lot cleaner when you're just like, hey, come tag along. We're already going.
I love. He
Let's
said the
go.
beach. Did you hear when he said the beach?
Why don't you just go on a
Be-
date with a girl by
Bro,
yourself?
Sonny.
It's not that scary.
Sonny,
That's
you
not- I'm-
fucking nail. Hey, Alex, it's not scary for us, but for your chatters, those losers, it's scary to them. To make them look less scary to the girl, a barbecue at the beach with a couple beers, girls and friends will make them look
Bikinis too.
better. It's
Yeah.
easy for us. We can one-on-one with these bitches all day. I could slap a bitch, she won't leave me. But for the chat, you're giving the chat bad advice. The chat needs to look social, right? They need to.
Yeah,
they need
not
to-
only that, but like it's
No.
hard for lots of guys who are antisocial
you're
to be
saying
able to
project
ask questions
social,
and
but when you
talk to
say
them the
look
entire
social,
time
that
on a
means
one-on-one
projected.
date.
Yeah,
So
Tom, repeat
double
that.
dates and more people sitting there.
The guys who
They're
don't have
able to
social
talk to
skills
each other.
are not going to be able to isolate the girl from her friends, and they're
Thank
going to
you.
get cock blocked by the friends. So
girls, we're gonna be more scared if we're like one-on-one with you at a restaurant than come to my barbecue with all my other friends. Like, if I think you're creepy,
That's just
maybe
a
all your
lie.
friends are creepy too. Like, I feel like you're just gonna have.
You
some
could also
weird-
tell her to bring, like, feel free to bring some friends as well.
how would you know, Zherka?
or
You
you
just said that you don't do this anyway.
Like,
What do you mean I have done this? I don't do it now. I'm an expert.
You come to this random barbecue with people that maybe 90% are going to be annoying. Like, we just don't want to do this. Like, maybe a certain like 19-year-old college girl wants to do this, but not like most women.
What the fuck? Most women reject most of their DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my point is that if a girl is afraid to be alone with you on a first date, the last thing she wants to do is now be
No,
with
Jasmine, you're not getting it. It's not that she's afraid to be alone with you. It's that anyone who's a stranger, even if they've got a Ferrari, there's anxiety there. We're trying
Yeah, so
to
why would you want to be with a bunch of men?
because her
That you-
friends are gonna be there. Her 3 friends are gonna bring 3 friends to the barbecue. That's how you eradicate the anxiety.
Somehow, like
Jesus,
normal-
bro, you've done this, Jasmine. You've
I've
gone
never
out
done
with your friends. You don't have friends you
I was-
go out with?
Okay, yes. When I was like 16, 17, which is the age range you like, that makes sense.
That's a joke, okay? What the hell?
I like those ages. Actually.
Yo, what the fuck?
I just don't know
Sonny,
how
don't-
like,
don't-
it's still,
don't
like, the
snitch-
same
don't
debate.
snitch on
How is it still
yourself.
the same debate? Like, is there another like debate point? If not, like,
Yeah,
let's move
let's
on.
let's
You know
move
we're
on
right,
to the
you
next
guys lost.
topic.
Let's go to the
What?
next
Yeah, we can move on
Agree to
to.
disagree. Agree to disagree for sure. And here, if you ever want to find the truth, whatever the girl said, she's lying.
well, I agree with you there.
That's Jasmine's pretending she's going to be 100% comfortable with a random chatter at a bar.
Random chatter at
Why
a
don't
bar.
you take one?
Alex, what's the next
I
question?
wanna go
What's the next question?
Barbecue with all his friends. No, thank you.
Because your friends will be there. What the-
Zherka, what piece of evidence would convince you that you're wrong on this? Just tell me this.
If the mainstream who fails with your methods, if they started winning, I would adopt your habits. But clearly, you guys are.
Wait, do you think that
Wait, hold on, Alex. What's more common? People do what you're saying or what I'm saying? Everyone does what you're saying.
I don't think you have any idea what I'm saying. I think you think that I'm like giving typical
Alex,
mainstream
Alex,
advice, which is like, just be yourself.
No, Alex, I'm saying branching off one-on-one date after the social environment, the experience she gets after her anxiety is lowered is more effective. I'm sure you've had hookups where it's cringy, awkward. We're trying to minimize that because those traumas are going to make your confidence. It's going to lower your confidence. We want to eradicate her anxiety, right? We want to eradicate it. A big, tall, hairy dude, Glenn, me, we can do one-on-one and we can win. But we have status network looks. We have the whole cups filled. Chat only has usually 1 or 2.
But
We're trying to
What,
make
what
it
you're saying is much more in line with what mainstream advice is.
Alex, you know what I think? Here's why, Alex, you don't understand me. Because you said you've never had a toxic breakup.
No, I don't have toxic relationships to begin with.
Yeah, that's how I know you're not actually reading her mind, bro. Like I'm
Well,
sure
that's because I don't promise the girl the world. That's why I don't have toxic breakups.
Wait, I have a quick question. Is anyone here vaccinated?
No.
Tom, are you?
Vaccinated.
Tom's
Yeah, I got the
vaccinated?
first one.
I'm vaccinated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zherka, you
Alright.
too? Wait, Zherka, you're
Zherka-
vaccinated?
99% of America is vaccinated. So.
Everyone got organ problems or whatever.
He has the 4th jab. All right. So what's the next question? What's I guess let's just see what the audience was asking.
Okay, so I don't see any questions on yours. I have a question from GC for $5. He said, Alex, have you changed your mind about men who use OnlyFans? Do you still think it's men subscribing to multiple women in hopes of dating them?
It's kind of a speculation, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Just my initial thought was that at least part of the reason guys subscribe to girls' OnlyFans is because they envision a shot with her. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Jasmine has
over like
tried to convince me otherwise. I don't know. I don't have a strong position on that.
And I would say less than 5% like actually message me like, hey, I want to get to know you, or even most people either just don't message you and just buy your content, or they'll message you asking.
Yeah, Jasmine, but they might still have a subconscious desire to hook up with you, even if they don't message you.
Well, I mean, maybe, but
I think you have a desire to hook up with any girl that you're watching.
Yeah, you're gonna have a desire to hook up, but they're subscribing to my OnlyFans and just buying the content and never reaching out to me. If they have this idea, they're not doing, their actions don't match that idea.
Well, it could be purely subconscious. They're not even consciously aware of it.
Well, sure. I mean, maybe people subconsciously want to date J-Lo, but that's not what.
Wait,
that's
Jasmine, what about girls who
they're not
use
DMing you?
girlfriend experience? With those girls, do you think it's more likely that the guys are actually trying to meet with them in person?
Depends. I don't do the girlfriend experience, so I wouldn't know too much about that. But I think a lot of times, a lot of men seem to. I can't say, but I would say, especially talking to the other girls I know, it's like less than 10% who have this like idea, and then like
isn't that because they think a robot is texting them back?
I'm texting my people back, but no, a lot of them, they might not know that. They might not know that, and even if they do,
wait, what about your other social media? You're getting DMs there.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, so they're funneled that way.
I get more DMs on Instagram trying to get to know me than OnlyFans. So this idea that people subscribe to OnlyFans to try to get to know you doesn't make sense. I feel like people who want to get to know you just DM you somewhere else.
You might be different though.
Guys DMing you on Instagram.
That's true.
Do you think the guys DMing you on Instagram are following you on OnlyFans?
Probably not. I mean, like I said, on my OnlyFans, and they're all like, I have had a ton of subscribers, like top 0.01%, less than 10%, I would say, even DM me like, hey, how was your day? Or, hey, these are my interests. I think you're a really interesting person. Like most people are just there to see me get fucked. Like, that's it. It's just simple.
Wait, that's on there? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go check it out.
All right. $10 from GC. He said, Sonny, in 2019, 81% of household heads. You're fucking shit. I'm old. Household heads with a bachelor's degree or more education had a spouse or partner who was also a college graduate. How if men don't care about education, money, or profession from women?
The circles that they're in, and also the majority of women are educated.
That's not true.
The majority of women not go to college?
The majority of women, not the majority of women, have even a 4-year degree. But then, especially once you get into those higher education,
you're basically saying why are guys marrying college educated girls? If I said that guys don't care about girls education.
College educated people are more likely to get married in general. So they're more likely to get married, less likely to get divorced, and more likely to have a happy overall marriage. So yeah, those people that are in those circles are more likely to marry other people in those circles. But to say that men don't care about that, that's not even what the evidence bears out. I mean, Corinne Lowe did a study where they had like the same girl, and above they put like her education level and her income, and men rated women as more attractive when they had higher income and higher education levels. And there was another study that they did where they looked at.
Wait, what studies are you saying that guys saw women as well? What are these OF opinion studies? Like when
they're not OF opinions, but you're far more educated.
These are just lies.
Study. You're 20 years old and you just follow your little friend group. You don't know how to read. You don't know how to you don't know how to look at a study. So I understand that. I'm not blaming you for that.
Jasmine, you're saying if a girl makes more money, men like that?
And yes, not you guys. I understand. Not you guys.
No,
you guys
I want to know. Like, what's the study?
It's here. Corinne Lowe did the study.
No,
there is a study that was just. Wait, there was actually a study. I have it in here from that.
No, Jasmine. I'm seeing if you're lying. You're not lying. You're clearly winning this. No sarcasm, Sonny. Maybe we're wrong.
Yeah, maybe we're wrong.
Why does that feel so wrong?
Just real quick, Jasmine, I have not seen that data. I have seen the data from Chinese dating sites saying that men are not attracted to education whatsoever, and that it's not like a preference for them in any way.
Who gives a fuck about Chinese dating sites?
This is just like real.
Well, we're talking about what they find attractive, so that would be like we're talking about men and what they find
Hold on, how
attractive.
about the-
hoping
like,
because she does
actually
OnlyFans and
dating.
makes a lot of money.
How about the men on this podcast? Let's all be real. If Jasmine was broke and you were dating her, if Jasmine was dirt poor and you were dating her, would that be better for you?
I would
Or if
prefer.
she's
I would
rich?
prefer she's
better
poor.
for
so
you
I
to be
can
able to
show her the
manipulate
world. I want to show her.
No, I want to know. Does it like look at the men's faces? If you rewind the podcast, everyone got a little aroused, like a dirt poor
No,
Jasmine.
that would be negative. It wouldn't be a deal breaker, but that would be a negative because then I would have to fucking help her out with financial shit, which I don't want to do.
Well, you've never done that?
No.
You've never had a girl live at your place?
I've had a girl live in my place, yeah, but then she contributes.
wouldn't- If
her own
Jasmine
life.
was living in your place and she was dependent on you, would that be more attractive? Or if she had a high paying job?
Well, like I would have to, if she was dependent on me, I would have to pay for all her shit.
But you just said you did live with girls before. You've done it already.
I've had girls live with me, but doesn't mean I paid for all their shit. They still contribute in
Okay.
their own way. They would pay like the utility bills and stuff like that, or they would get groceries.
Oh, I don't. Okay,
I've
what
never
about
dated. I've never dated a girl who was like dead broke.
Oh my
Every girl I've
God.
ever dated had like at
Zherka,
least
imagine
a
you
little bit
filled
of money.
your fridge with groceries and you didn't have to ask her for money.
Alex, I know you get a bunch of chicks. I know you spend energy on this. So I know you've had girls live with you a couple of months that are dead broke. There's no way.
No, I've hooked up with dead broke girls, but I've never dated a broke girl. And for a girl to live with me, I would have to be really dating her.
You are detached, bro. You never
Why
say
would I?
this- you
Why
you
would I
never-
want?
you don't
Why
want
would I want some brokey loser living with me who's gonna have to pay for all her shit?
Yeah, so let me get this straight. If Rihanna was broke, you'd say get a job. Like if she was a hot Rihanna, you'd say you gotta go get a job and pay.
Well, I think Rihanna is not attractive, so there's
All right,
no.
you
world-
pick a girl.
Megan Fox.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't say it was a
Megan
deal
Fox works
breaker.
at
Alex
McDonald's.
would tell Megan Fox.
Megan
you would
Fox
never
No, I
get-
didn't.
works
hang on.
at
I didn't.
McDonald's.
You
I
gotta
didn't.
go
I
tell
didn't.
her she's a
I didn't say it was a deal breaker. I said that I would prefer if she had some money to her own, so I don't have to pay for all her shit. I didn't say it was a deal breaker.
Well, I'm saying what arouses you more, the independent woman or the dependent?
Well, this is not a matter of arousal. This is a matter of preference. Yeah, I would prefer a girl who actually is capable of paying her own bills. Sure.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah, from my understanding was like on like all polling says that men don't really like care about education as much, and women do care about education. But then when it comes to who you're around based on the job you have, the place you grew up in, and the people that you associate with, because of how much money you make, you end up dating across socioeconomic lines, not because that's what's attractive, but because that's just who you're around the entire time.
It's not true. So there was that study I just told you. There's also a study from 2014, Beauty and Status, the Illusion of Exchange and Partner Selection. It's in the American Sociological Review. And what was really interesting is they found both genders equally would trade attractiveness for education. Men too. I just wanted to put it in the chat if you guys actually want to read. I know.
Yeah,
Wait,
I definitely would like to see it.
I
Let me get
couldn't
this
care
straight.
less about
Men
this
would
study.
drop the beauty of their chick so she could
was
understand
the only
lesbian dance
No
theory
one's,
better.
no one's saying that. Once again, just changing the whole fucking.
All right, you frame it.
The
Men
framing
would
is very
lower-
simple. The framing is so simple. Would it be more desirable, less desirable for a girl to either have her own income or be completely broke?
The only thing that I would sacrifice looks for is a lower body count and ideally a virgin. That's the
Yeah,
only
you
real
guys,
reason.
but you guys are not represented.
most-
And I
Well,
wouldn't even
Sonny,
do that.
what if you had a girl who was like, she did work at McDonald's, but she couldn't really she wasn't able to have any sort of conversation with you about politics, about finance. She didn't have a great grammar or vocabulary. She wasn't able to
She's
articulate
perfect.
herself very well.
You mean
She's
I
not
couldn't
able to
talk
sit at
about the
dinner with your
political and
family
economic
and
state
actually
with my
socialize
girl?
with anybody?
What are you talking about, Dom? What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying, if I take my girlfriend to eat with my family, I would like her to be able to socialize, be able to talk to the people, be able to have an intelligent conversation.
able to
I don't
follow
know
the
about
Jasmine
education,
study.
but I would like her to be able to at least be sociable.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I don't
like-
care about formal education. I care about intelligence.
No, guys. Listen, we're men. We want to come home, and she's like, "I made an apple pie because I'm a retard and I burnt it." we don't want to talk politics. What the fuck?
Wait, do you want to have a retarded baby?
No.
When a woman's retarded, it's actually a good thing. It means she's maxed out on beauty. Beauty is the best. I think beauty even beats purity. Because, like, think about it, man. You got to live with them till they're old.
So you would be on board with having like a partially retarded baby, right?
Bro, a hot, beautiful woman is a retard. Yes, you want her DNA. You want your kids to be good looking, right, Alex?
But at the expense of being retarded.
Yeah, but it's also your job as the father to kind of guide them and mold the kids. Like the mother does.
Yeah, intelligence is largely genetic. So if you have a really, really dumb girl, then there's going to be 50% of her DNA is going to apply to the baby.
Well, she's not going to be smart and hot. Who's
guys, I
smart
got a
and
dip.
hot? No, Glenn, stay. The fuck?
Let me just say my final words here before I got to get going. So the question of the day was like, is the red pill community causing more harm than good? All right, I would say this, that when it comes to giving the descriptions of a lot of the problems or the situations that guys may be dealing with, I think the red pill is dead on. Hits the target right there. Now, I think their prescriptions, their individual prescriptions or their opinions on how to, be successful with women or whatever the case is, I think it has to be defined as what the individual causes success. What do you define success as, and what does that look like? If you're trying to get the big old body count and try to be like, Myron or, Fresh, sure. There's going to be some things that they offer that may not be ethical or may not be good for you as an individual in the long term, but it might reach your short-term goal of getting that notch count up. All right. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you or beneficial to you. I think it all comes down to you have to decide whether or not this information that this individual is giving you as a prescriptor or prescription is actually works in your worldview, or is it beneficial to you and those that you're involved with. So I think description wise, yes, it's great when it comes to giving descriptions of problems that we see in this culture in this time. But I don't necessarily think that all or majority of the prescriptions that are offered are beneficial to either you or the women or, your future family or kids or whatever. I don't necessarily think that's beneficial to them in the long run. So that's where I stand on it. So that's why I've been kind of not say fence sitting, but I agree that the red pill does give beneficial information, but I also think it can be very detrimental with the information that it gives.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming on. I would disagree with the idea that the descriptions it gives are largely solid. I think a lot of their descriptions are way off, but yeah, that's, I guess, a topic for another day.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody, for having me on.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, thanks, buddy.
We're still supposed to meet up. So when you come back to LA, you better hit me up, dude.
You're in Vegas. You're not in LA.
I'm in LA now.
Oh, I'm going to be there this week. Let's do something.
All right. Hit me up.
Yeah.
All right. Peace, guys.
All right, take it easy, buddy. All right, Tom, is there anything
Yeah,
else?
I got another one. GC for $10 says spousal slash marital
Your
rape
mic's
is
up,
illegal in
up.
every
Your mic
state.
is
Yeah,
perfect.
just fix the scratch. And Jasmine, are you the girl who debated Destiny?
I've debated with Destiny. I didn't debate.
Oh,
him.
you're a liberal. You're on his side.
Yeah. We did one debate where we were 2v2 and I was on his side.
Yeah, on the whatever podcast. You did better than most girls. Like, you did good. Who's the opposing team?
Lila Rose and Trent Horn.
How big are your tits?
34G.
Is that's not
Real. It's 100% real. Yeah.
No.
The transition is perfect here.
I'm fine with
No,
this.
'cause I'll say this, right? I didn't notice till now. Now I'm staring.
They're real.
You don't normally see that. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's why I make a lot of money.
How much you make?
Well, I make 7 figures a year. That's all I'll say.
What does 7 figures mean? Like, how much you make?
I'm not going to give you exact numbers.
Because I want to know, are guys huge on titty guys, or are most guys titty guys?
Titties do really well on OF, especially big natural ones. And I've been pretty big on Reddit for those for a long time. And Reddit is a really great market because people are in these independent subreddits. It's all men. They're already horny. So it's a great funnel over to my OF.
Over 150K a month.
Over.
All right, maybe you guys can connect later and talk about Jasmine's income and titty size.
Wait, Alex, what's the average these OnlyFans girls make monthly?
I think it's something like 140 a month or something. They don't make much. Jasmine would
Pretty
know
incredible.
that.
You don't even need fat tits to
I don't
make
know what
it.
the average is, but yeah, I'm in the top, so I wouldn't say my income is indicative of most people's
Okay.
income.
Well, yeah, that's
Also, neither are my titties, so.
All right,
Yeah,
Tom.
I don't think most
what's
OnlyFans
what's
girls
the next?
do very well.
What's the next question?
The last one, GC for $10. Spousal/marital rape is illegal in every state, but it's only been this way since 1993. Until 1976, every state has an exemption that allowed a husband to rape his wife without fear of a legal consequence. I guess there's not an actual question in there. I don't know if I assumed, because they were saying it while Zherka was talking about like controlling a woman. I assumed it was for him and had something to do with that.
Yeah, define rape.
Yep, I was gonna ask that earlier.
I think it's going to be like non-consensual sex.
So what
No,
is
but is
consent?
it that thing where she regrets it after? I don't really.
No.
No. What is consent? Does she need
Consent
a
is like agreeing to a contract. So like if I go to a bank and I sign something, I'm showing that I'm consenting.
So I need to have a
this thing.
contract.
No, it doesn't have to be formal. Her agreeing
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be formal.
either explicitly or
Body language to do
implicitly
it.
to having sex with you.
Would you say?
Yeah,
that it's
you can.
not-
If you read a book on eyebrows, you'll be able to tell whether or not she consented.
Okay.
Behavior is negative, even in law, like contract. How do you know someone accepts the contract? Well, even acting like they've accepted the contract counts in the court. So I would say.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I'm not right. I'm not
It
right.
doesn't
So
have
do you think if a
acting
girl? So do you think if a girl is in bed with you like this, and she's going, no, is that rape?
Probably not. No.
Yeah, and I don't think that's most rape cases at all.
Mm,
I don't think that's most behavior anywhere.
Well, when I was growing up, I always thought that rape was like get dragged into an alley and like fist in the mouth and like shut up, bitch. What really is rape? Like,
Well, I
It
mean,
can
it
be-
could be somebody like your spouse, and you'd be like, I don't want to have sex. No, we need to have sex, and then having sex with the person when they don't want to. That's also rape.
That's disgusting. Imagine that's like fucking a corpse.
Yeah, sometimes some people do that.
Well, I'm
I don't
glad
know
you
if
have a
they
strong
can.
stance on this, Zherka.
Yeah, thank you, Zherka.
I mean, it
You
seems
think-
like for
you think-
most
Is
rapists,
this a
they have
common
like a
thing?
What?
no, like even just sexual assault in some cases, only like 15% of women have reported having some sort, and the violent ones are like a much smaller percentage of those as well.
can you give consent if you're drunk?
Depends how drunk, but generally not.
Generally not.
If you're wasted, no, probably not.
Well, if she's drunk and the guy is not, I think that guy's a rapist. I really do.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
think-
I mean, I think it's weird. Like, that's
With
fucking
some
weird.
people. I think it's weird. Yeah, just don't
And you got it's actually more common than when I worked at clubs. I'd be hanging by the door, and every time a girl stumbled out drunk, like she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing in life, she's just totally confused. All these guys, nice guys, we're just nice little simps. They start hovering around her, trying to see who can get the Uber and get her home safe. And so, yeah, bro, most guys at the clubs are rapists. So if a girl goes to a nightclub, she's actually going there to be raped.
You want to know what's actually one of the hottest things that you can do with a girl if you're out?
Zherka starts off by saying something that's true, and then just the conclusion.
Hold on. Alex, how many of those girls who go to trap parties with gangsters? That's like jumping in a pool full of sharks. Boys would never
Oh, we're
go
talking
to
about clubs.
men would never stay with gay prisoners and get drunk with them, but these girls actually stay with gangsters and get drunk with them at some trap spot. All I'm saying is if you jump in the shark pool, you're mentally ill. Those girls are literally mentally ill. No man would ever. Women can even date criminals out of prison who've killed people. Men cannot date a fucking batshit bitch who stabbed someone. We're too intelligent for that. So
What?
yeah, women
There's,
going to
there's so many murders that happen of a guy dating a girl who was batshit crazy and stabbed him. Like, what do you mean?
Well, if he found out she stabbed a man, would he date her in the first place? No.
Did you hear about the that new Netflix show about that chick who killed 3 of her husbands?
Yeah, but he didn't know she's batshit until she did it. Now check this out, Alex. When have men gone for girls out of prison who have committed homicide? That never happens.
It's
But
rare, but most girls.
if
are
I
not
come out of
into it.
prison and I strangled a woman to death, I swear to God, my DMs would be still full. That's how stupid women are.
Okay, I don't even know how to argue with that. All right, Sonny, what were you gonna say?
Hey, Alex, have you seen when I
Oh.
try and expose female nature? So I start talking about crazy, violent shit with them and then get their phone number. And it's not like a dating advice. Don't do this, but I'm showing that it doesn't matter. If they like you, they go retard mode.
Yeah, I
right?
agree with you that
Yeah.
there's a good amount of women who will overlook like really severe red flags if they like a guy. Sure.
But you're admitting they're low IQ. They're very stupid, right?
No, I think guys will also overlook massive red flags.
Look, bro, women go hang out with murderers at these crazy parties, trap parties and shit. Women have lower IQ than dogs because when dogs don't feel safe, they run. When a dog doesn't feel safe, they will run away. But
Guys marry blatant gold diggers, and then they're surprised when she takes half of his net worth. I mean, there's stupidity to go around in both
They're
genders.
not. No one's surprised. Everyone who dates a gold digger knows what's happening to them. They know.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. No.
Uh,
I don't think. Well, maybe they could date her, but why would they marry her and lose 50% of their assets?
A gold digger is not the worst thing in the world. Would you want your daughter to be a gold digger or date a bum?
I would want neither. That's like saying, would I want to eat dog shit or would I want to eat horse
No.
shit?
Would
Neither
you
one
want
of
your
those are
daughter
good.
to marry into a royal rich family or not?
I would want my daughter to marry someone that treats her really well.
What if he just plays PlayStation and he's broke, but he's great? He's a nice guy. Would you?
Well,
would
if he can't, like, if he has no money, then yeah. But as long as he's middle class and above, yeah, I'll be cool with that.
Okay. All right.
Alex,
middle class.
checking
Middle
DMs.
class nowadays. Middle class means poor.
No, middle class still means middle class.
No, it does not, bro. The
Bro,
W.
Are you guys living in this illusion
Alex.
that like everyone's making six figures or something?
No,
No, we're
Alex.
not.
Middle
Yes,
class, bro. Middle class means they don't take vacations. They're slaves to their job.
They don't take vacations.
Like they don't have free time. They literally have.
Everyone
10 hours.
gets at least 2 weeks vacation. Most jobs get 3.
I'm saying don't aim for middle class. That's how you end
No, I
up.
agree with you. You shouldn't aim for middle class. You should aim to be really successful. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that
and-
most people are middle class.
But when you're successful, the gold diggers are going to come, and you just got to accept that.
Or you can screen them out.
I mean, their nature.
Well, wait, Alex, that was your argument the whole time that Sonny was saying that you should make more money. Is you kept saying, well, that means that you're more likely to get like gold diggers. And how do you know who's a gold digger and who's not? But now, like he's saying the same thing. He's like, yeah, you just try to screen them out and try to make sure that you're
Yeah,
Not-
but
not
the-
dating a
the-
gold digger.
yeah. But the difference is most guys are not going to be able to screen out the gold diggers. Most guys think with their dicks.
But Alex, a woman doesn't have the capacity to date a McDonald's worker. We will marry a beautiful McDonald's worker. So clearly,
This is just like a red pill fantasy. Do you think that all the women working at McDonald's are married to like rich guys? No, they're married to
No.
other guys working at McDonald's.
Yeah, but that's not a real marriage because if a higher value male DMs them, they run away. That's not. We're trying to keep the men safe.
You have some good evidence of this, or this is just personally your own
I could
speculation?
DM a Walmart couple and ruin their marriage right now for content.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't know how the fuck you're going to find a Walmart couple. You're going to search Walmart couple on Instagram. But yeah, sure. You should do an experiment to see how many girls you can steal from Walmart couples.
What about you? Aren't you the dating guy who talks about hypergamy? You don't believe in it?
No, I almost never talk about hypergamy.
Oh, do you think it's real or no?
Sort of, but I think it's over-exaggerated in the red pill community. I think it applies to both genders.
'Cause when I talk about hypergamy, I'm saying, let's say best case scenario, she doesn't leave you. That doesn't mean she has genuine burning desire. You're still in a hole. Even
Yeah, I
if
think that there's a lot of marriages and relationships where the guy's ultra rich and she still doesn't have genuine burning desire. Money
Oh,
does not
I
give
missed
you
a couple
genuine burning
questions.
desire.
I do have 2 more.
Okay.
This is a question to the red pillars. What's the value difference between a hot virgin trad wife who doesn't work compared to one who works an average job?
one doesn't exist.
You're saying, I'm sorry, what's the difference between both
A
girls?
unicorn. It's a
One-
unicorn question.
A hot virgin trad wife who doesn't work compared to one who works an average job. They're asking like, what's the value difference? Like, why
Okay,
is one better than the other?
Pretty easy question. She doesn't have a man influencing her, telling her what to do all day, and I feel like one of the biggest things with girls is limiting outside influence. So if she's going to work and she's dealing with her other coworkers, the other girls, then it's more likely for bullshit to come back to the home and to infect her, compared to if she's staying at home and she's living under her father with her family.
See, this is the problem: is the red pillars like Sonny always fall for the bait. A hot virgin trad wife doesn't exist. That's
They
unicorn.
do though. They do.
Name one.
It's
Name
rare.
one. Name one. Name one on Earth. 3 billion women.
One just got
one.
one of my the girl I just went to college with. Her name is Mia. I'm not gonna drop her whole name, but she has a social media following. Virgin till marriage, getting married this week.
Really? She should
Yeah.
be famous. Wow.
She is.
Yeah, in the South here, it's actually fairly common. Everybody's like hardcore Christians, and like it's not super common. Like we're talking about like 15% of women, but it's common enough to where you're able to find them.
Oh, 15% of women are hot
15
virgins.
No, I'm saying they're virgins. 30 to 15% of them are going to be virgins. Some of them are like super hot babes that could do well on Instagram or something like that.
If it's a virgin, they're ugly.
Bro, I actually disagree with you there, bro. Because like, no matter like how.
No. You mentioned an exception to the rule. I'm saying that's a unicorn. They rarely exist, right? It's like a stupid way to look at the world. Like if you guys talk about unicorn questions, there will be chatters who are waiting their whole lives for that
unicorn. Yeah,
trans are an exception to the rule in of themselves, and so are virgins. Most girls are not
virgins. Well, if they do exist, they are scooped up at like 18. Like they're getting married right away.
Why we go to
like when they do exist.
Okay. Anyway, what's the next question?
They don't exist.
The
they got scooped up.
Was from GC for $5. He said, Zherka, do you honestly think the age of consent should be dropped down to 16, or are you just trolling?
Obviously, every girl I've dated is like 23, 25, so it is trolling. But my argument I make is that an 18-year-old girl looks identical to a 17. That's the argument I'm making, that every guy, why are they called jailbait? Because guys are attracted to that. Everyone says, no, I'm not into it. What the fuck is 18 and 17 looks identical? They literally look the same.
Bro. Yeah.
That's the argument I'm making, that you can try and pretend you're like this pure guy, but on the hub, that the teen category, like they love that shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think any guy who's saying they're not attracted to any 16-year-olds is obviously lying. It's about like whether or not you act on it. Yeah. And so when we're talking about age of consent, we're talking about whether or not you can act on it, whether or not you can, whether or not you're attracted to them.
Well, at the end
so
of the
you're
day,
saying it's okay to be attracted to them.
You want my personal opinion? I like the rules how they are right now. And I think women are the hottest around 23, 25, right? Because there's a lot of cringeness in the personality of an 18-year-old. Have you dated an 18-year-old? Oh, you have a car. They're very cringe. The only problem I have with a 25-year-old chick, the only problem I have with her, she's opinionated. That's the only, if she acted like the 18-year-old, then hell yeah, right? And the opinionated thing is like Jasmine, why are you opinionated? You could literally have a Saudi prince give you $1 billion black credit card if you played the game red pill.
I don't want to.
Because you want to work. Why?
No, because I want somebody that I actually enjoy life with. Like I want somebody that I care about their opinions when I'm watching a movie. I don't care about this weirdo Saudi prince's opinion. Like I want somebody to go do things with, somebody to have fun with. But I don't want to just sit around with a black card with the Saudi weirdo prince to do what? Like this is low IQ women. I understand, but that's not me.
So if Drake DM'd you right now,
back to Drake.
If Drake DM'd me right now, all I'd be thinking of is if he somehow if we have the sex tape and he'll let me film it, I can make money off it. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. I'm not attracted to him. He has like weird seashells in his hair. He's a weirdo.
I love that answer. Yeah, he's a weirdo.
If Drake DM'd her, she'd probably be asking him if he could introduce her to Kendrick Lamar.
I love Alex. Don't you love how she said that?
Can I make money?
If money didn't exist, no chick would go for Drake. One in the chat. That's the truth.
I think the thing
Jasmine will respond to him is because he's rich and famous. But the truth is, the guy got no.
To get those resources somehow.
But it's not the money, it's the fame, because that's why the sex tape would be valuable. If he was some random rich guy who no one knew, then the sex tape would not be valuable. Zherka, if Drake slid in your DMs, Would you bang him? Like, I don't know. You seem like you really like Drake. What would be your reaction?
He remember, he doesn't like me, so I always make fun of Drake. I don't like Drake, but I make the argument that an ugly, cringe, painted nails homo like Drake. I make the argument that a homo can take your girl because women are gold diggers. That's the argument I'm making, and she admitted she's not even attracted to him, and she'll do it for business.
She's not in a relationship though.
But no. But then he has time to establish a bond. And remember, women, if they stay in one
but
room,
if Drake just wanted to, I wouldn't fuck Drake if he gave me like a monthly allowance. It's only if like, okay, what can I get out of this?
How much does it take? $100,000 if Drake sent you wired you $100,000?
No, I get offers for sex for way more than that. I want this to be a viral thing, my name to be everywhere, so everyone funnels into my OnlyFans, and I need to be making like 10 million.
Okay.
But Jasmine, outside of you do like believe that women are attracted to like resources and these sorts of things because they represent like safety and security and that sort of stuff as in like overall average, right?
Yes,
It's more of the status.
All we're worried about is resource acquisition. And for a long time, women weren't able to acquire those resources on their own. This was the only way. But now, ever since women are allowed to be into the workforce, you do see that trend is completely dissipating. So
you're saying they're grabbing the resources themselves, and so now the guy does not need
I'm not looking for that anymore. You go talk to women who are making a bunch of money and they're making those resources themselves. The only reason women want men to give them these resources because they don't have the skills or they don't have the ability to do it themselves or they don't want to.
Wait, Jasmine, you're pretty much saying there's even 100,000 is low. You're saying, like, when do you retire? You can retire right now. When does the greed component get fulfilled?
I like a lot of money because I just have like that kind of lifestyle, and since I grew up with money, I need a lot of money. That's
just
why.
you.
Yeah,
just you. You're the only girl
Your
who
dad
likes
was a millionaire, and you still went on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Bombaclat. That's crazy.
What do you spend the money on?
I just like, I mean, it's not even that I want to retire and not have to worry about money at all and be able to maintain my lifestyle. And right now, I mean, I could, but I wouldn't be able to have the lifestyle I want. Plus, right now, my day is great and easy. Why would I leave for no reason?
So the smart Jasmine, the debate girl that's intelligent, very rare, she's a high-level gold digger. Imagine the dumb
girl. Gold digging from myself.
I mean, like you said, you're never gonna. It'll never be enough. You came from millions. Your dad is a millionaire.
She didn't say that. She said she wants to retire at 35.
How much money do you have? You can retire right now.
Basically, yeah.
Turns into dried up bags.
I have an inheritance in the millions, and I'm making millions myself. But if I want to retire at a young age and not work the rest of my life and not worry about this money dwindling down, I could do it now. But why would I when I have such an easy means?
Hold up. Could it be that you just want that attention? Women love attention.
If I wanted attention, I didn't have any social media till I started my OnlyFans when I was 26. So where was I? Didn't have. Yeah, no Instagram, nothing. There's no digital footprint of me at all before I started this. So if I wanted attention, why didn't I want it when I was 23?
What were you doing?
I was in law school.
You were in law school and you went to OF?
Yeah, I'm a lawyer.
No, you're fucking retarded, bro. Yo, hold on. So you have $1 million inheritance and you're a lawyer and you still somehow fucked your whole life up.
I mean, if you want to call it that, but yeah, that's
dude. You're smarter than everyone on the panel. You did the bar.
That's why I stopped talking.
Well, so Zherka, if she has like all of these resources available to her already, what if she wanted to do OnlyFans and she had fun with it? How would it fuck her life up? Why? Like, what advice would you give her to not do that?
Well, she's not doing it for fun.
I'm doing it because I want more money and it's an easy job to have and brings in a lot of money. And I have time, money, happiness, and freedom. Like I work a little amount and then I'm traveling all the fucking time. Like that's just my life.
It's just more money. So technically I'm right. Your best position would be to go for that Saudi prince.
No, because Saudi prince is going to lower my quality of living. Right now, I get to do whatever I want and make all the money that I want. If I have to hang around this annoying Saudi prince that I don't, that's like my time. My time is.
But Jasmine, you're saying you're never going to have kids. I'm the only one that's going to feed on that. You're never going to have a family.
I'm not. I mean, if I have a family, it'll be in my mid to late 30s. That's what I want.
Wow, so you want your kid retarded and depressed because his mom's titties are getting fucked online?
Okay, let's say that's for from now, if I have a kid, and then by the time they're old enough, we just got iPhones 15 years ago. Who the fuck knows what's going to be happening by then? How far social attitudes will change? You guys are the same people that were saying that, oh, if two people are gay, two dads are gay, and they have a kid, their kid's going to be bullied forever. You go to a school in California, these kids are not getting bullied because they have two dads. Things change. So I don't have a kid now. By the time I have a kid and they're old enough to realize, to have the conscious ability to be bullied, that's going to be 15, 20 years from now. That's not something I'm worried about. And they're going to be rich. They're going to have an educated mother. They're literally set up in the best position.
You know what, Zherka?
No, you know what's blowing me? It's blowing me away that she's the most intelligent female on the whatever podcast history, and she's still proving that women are gold diggers. Like she's
who am I gold digging from? Listen, Arab men love her. You know how much money I've been offered for like one night or go here, go there. I never want to do it because it's I'd be grossed out. It's a waste of my time. I care about my time. How can I maximize my time? OnlyFans allows me an easy income that I can now have the freedom to go spend my time.
Lady, what did your dad say?
He was mad about it, yes.
And now he's
Alex, did you check your DMs?
He
what?
Don't tell policy.
Did you check your DMs?
Wow.
No, let me see.
Wait,
yeah,
your dad
immigrants from Iran, and my mom's a lawyer too, and my dad's
you're ruining their legacy, bro.
Yeah, you could say that, but I mean, whatever. My family loves me. I'm a princess. They're gonna forgive me. Our relationship's fine, and I'm making millions of dollars, and I get to go live my life and do whatever the fuck I want, and I get to find.
This is the devil. You don't.
She's
your
awesome.
soul will be ripped from your body when we die and go to the afterlife. The same way when you were born, you were ripped from your mother's placenta to come into a new world. Your soul will be ripped from your body.
If that's what you care about, my soul
as the
ripped
riches he gave you on
20-year-old Sunny fasting, so I'm completely fine with that. I will await the day for the hellfire, whatever the fuck you think I'm going to do. I'm a hardcore atheist. I feel like I've been blessed. I've had all the resources available to me.
Blessed. Listen to your language. You acknowledge God in your language, woman. That's blessed.
To myself, why would I want to do that? I would never want to hang out with a guy, waste a Friday night with some loser because he's going to pay my bills like all these other gold digging girls do. I don't have to do that.
You're spending your Saturday night with us, so I don't know. I got two more questions though.
My friend.
And I do want to wrap up at some point in like the next 5 hours.
Alex knows I'm always traveling. I'm always out doing something.
But Jasmine, what about love? You need love. Huh? You need love. You need love in your life.
But I wouldn't love the person like you guys who are like, oh my God. I don't love people who correlate morality with like modesty. That's just not the
No, Jasmine, you need to, if you want to go on nice vacations, you have to have a partner. You can't be doing this shit.
I go with the guy I film with.
That's just a coworker. You need a bond.
All right, real quick. We got two more questions. I got one from Juju for $9.99. He said, ask Jasmine what law school she went to and what her class rank was.
I'm not going to talk about the law school because I don't want to get doxxed, but I was ranked in the top third, well within the top third. My school only ranked the top third, and I was in that my first year and second year. And then after that, when COVID hit, I didn't care. So it was pass fail.
Okay, cool. And then I got another super chat from GC for $5. Appreciate it, GC. He said, question to all the men. 6 out of 10 virgins who are submissive, or a woman like Jasmine who is not submissive but she's rich. Are you looking for someone who is attractive or submissive?
Well, I bet that Jasmine is probably pretty fucking submissive in bed. There's just a speculation. I don't know. Yeah.
You also need to build submissiveness in the woman. She's not just going to submit to you just because you're a guy. You need to be the guy that she submits to.
Why don't you just find a girl that you have similar values with so you don't have to like...
Yeah, but there are some feminists who are never going to submit to any fucking guy at all. So they're somebody who's a 6 out of 10.
Chaz looks like such a little cute baby. I can't imagine submitting to him. So yeah, maybe like you need to...
What you're saying to me?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Funny. I have no problem with girls submitting to me because I typically talk to like 18, 19-year-old girls, and where I am in my shoes at 20 years old, it's a joke. How
I know, but it's like to me, I just think of you as some cute little baby. But sorry.
Somebody's echoing again, pretty bad.
Now hold on. All right. First of all, yes, you can build a more passive nature in the girl, But usually you want to find one that's naturally disposed to this position. And you can actually see that like girls like Jasmine, when I start yelling over her, she just shuts the fuck up. That's actually what you look for in a girl. No,
I'm literally just trying to read or do something.
No, your nature is just to submit to men. Like it's a good thing. It's passive. It's a good thing. But now if she had blue hair and went full feminist mode, don't date that at all. That's an allegation waiting to happen, boys. And so what? You quit law school?
No,
I think Zherka's trying to make a case why Jasmine is like the perfect girl to date. That's what I've been hearing for the last few minutes.
It is an anomaly. I've never seen this in my life. I've never seen a rich family lawyer. Pretty much, you have everything to say no to the devil. And then
that's cute. Zherka has his first crush in a while.
No, but Jasmine, what if you've damaged your mental health now?
Why would I damage my mental health? I literally sit in my room. I don't go to any of these clubs. I don't go to these random barbecue DMs, the people that you're in. I literally sit in my room, read or travel or shop. Where is the damage to my mental health?
Zherka, you can be the one that saves her, man.
I actually got defeated today, bro. I have no argument. She has every door open and she's
I know.
I got a
too perfect forward.
You know what's funny is you'll justify yourself saying all innocent acts. You won't mention getting fucked on Twitter, and then you'll say
I literally said I talked about my sex tapes. Were you there when I talked about how I get fucked on? I
think it might have been before he joined, to be fair.
Okay, well, yeah, I talked about it. I said that,
in that point you were just making, justifying yourself when you were just justifying selling your soul to the devil. All the things you mentioned were stuff that we look for in good, innocent girls. Reading, all these different aspects.
None of the girls that are dating you read. This is not possible. They want to be sitting. Girls who read, girls who are smart, girls who are want to be educated. They're not sitting around for Sunny Fast to pay their rent. That's just not what's going on. They're going to.
Who said I need to pay the rent? I don't just go around paying bitches.
Who wants to submit to you? You look like 12. It's just not what these women are doing.
At least I acknowledge that I'm not in my peak yet. I'm 20 years old and I recognize I have a long way to go.
I got another super chat for $10 from the Trib.
All right, let's make that the last one because we're 3.5 hours in. Go ahead.
I got you. Yeah. This is the Trib for $10. A question for the panel. When it comes to marriage, what is more of a hindrance, OnlyFans or red pill ideology, as far as what pushes people away from marriage? Yeah,
I mean,
he's asking what's
or 80 something, either 60 or 80% of OF subscribers are married.
Oh, come on, that's not a real marriage.
That is what the stats say. Yes, 80% of people who subscribe to OnlyFans are married.
I don't even know. That's a good question. I don't have a good answer to that. I'm not sure.
Wait, what was the question?
What pushes people away from marriage more? Yeah. OnlyFans or the red pill?
I'll be red pill.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, I think OnlyFans, the thing about OnlyFans is that it's just another type of porn where you have like other aspects to it where it's like a little bit more personal, but it's still just porn. Everybody fucking watches porn. So like,
I interpreted that question to mean like the girl, from the girl's perspective, doing the OnlyFans. That's how I interpreted it.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of girls that do OnlyFans are married and they just either don't show it or they do couple content.
Yeah, but we never talk about them being mentally ill. They're all mentally ill.
I mean, a lot of lawyers are also mentally ill. Lawyers have high rates of depression, drug abuse, suicide. Like, it's not. Would you say that you should not be a lawyer?
Yeah, I don't like lawyers either.
I don't really buy into lawyers having the same problems as OF girls.
Also, OnlyFans, like
Jasmine, why don't we tell the truth? Most girls in your industry have cuts on their wrists. That's a fact.
I understand that, and that's because it's stigmatized. So let's say being
that's because of the stigma.
Or let's say being a teacher or being, whatever was stigmatized, then obviously it's going to attract a certain type of people. But some people like me are like, wait a minute, I don't really care about the stigma. I can make a ton of money doing this and it'll be more conducive to my happiness. So I'm going to do it. But yes, I would agree. In general, the type of women that this is going to attract are going to be women that have more tumultuous backgrounds than I do.
So what happened to you?
I just wanted to make a shit. I don't want to go to an office and have billable hours like a loser. It's just not what I want to do. I wanted to sit.
Alex, also, there's people in your chat who say that you have questions in your super chats. I didn't see anybody.
Oh, do I? All right, let me take a quick look. Zherka had the asphalt.
I looked through them.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna read like super troll questions. I appreciate all the super chat, guys, but yeah, there's
it's mainly Don Juan. Don Juan said that he had questions.
He says the red pill be leaving dudes single. Red pill says old and hypergamous, wrong. None. So he was just responding. There's no questions. But I do appreciate all the super chats, guys. And I'm sorry, Grace, I couldn't get you on. I do really, really want to wrap this up because we're going 3.5 hours in. I promised poor Sonny that it's going to be an hour and a half. I believe I made the same promise to Jasmine and Tom. So, yeah, I mean, do you want? How should we wrap this up? This was such
real quick. Do people want to give outros real quick?
Sure.
And just on like overall, the overall question in general was talking about harm from red pill, whether or not you think it's helpful or not helpful to men. So, Sonny, if you want to go first and kind of give your overall.
Yeah, for sure. Overall, I think that my advice is just objectively better. You know, following God, having some sort of morality to what you do. If you're gonna go out and one of the big talking points that we had was if you're gonna go meet a girl on the first date, the biggest thing is you want to lower her anxiety, and I think that's easier to do by bringing her into your circle rather than going out and going on one-on-one dates and stuff like that. The other thing we were talking about a lot is money. I think it's really important to upgrade your character as a guy. I think that's actually the most important aspect of all of this. And yeah, that's about all I got right now, man. I mean, we talked about a lot of different shit.
And where can people find you?
Yeah, you got Sunny Faz on all Twitters. The Sunny Faz on Twitter. My business is like TikTok shop. So if any of you guys are looking to get into that stuff, we send you products and then we teach you how to go viral, give you salary to post for stuff. For products. It's a fucking killer business model. That's about it.
All right, cool. Jasmine.
Go watch me have sex on OnlyFans.
Bomba clot.
Did you have a overall take on the question?
I mean, yeah, obviously I think it does more harm than good. I think a lot of what they say is not actually based in fact, especially when you look at overall data, which this demographic is less likely to do. So it doesn't really matter because they're speaking to it's just one little bubble. Like educated people, normal people, they don't even watch this. They're just like, what is this? Every time I talk about fresh and fit people, I'm talking about vegetables. They don't they don't know what this stuff is. But I would say that if you are an impressionable young guy and you're like, or a young girl and you're like, oh, I don't know really how to do, go get educated, go be around normal people, go touch grass, go be in college, go be in grad school. You're not gonna.
That's the Matrix. You're just you are the Matrix. I see the numbers on your tits. You are the Matrix. Literally.
All right.
Go to college, go to college and play ultimate.
Zherka. Marriages, more likely to be married, more likely to have a higher value mate. All of that education is one of the tangible things you can do to upgrade.
You think higher value means a girl with money and 10 bodies? So
no. Higher value is somebody that's going to stay with you and be better for your children, which educated people both.
Real quick,
I mean, Jasmine,
Alex
at the end of the day, I'm gonna frame this in a fair way, but it's gonna be a little mean. But Jasmine, at the end of the day, you agree. Most people in your industry, most of those girls are cutting their wrists and overdosing on drugs. You are still platforming that this is a good thing because you made it out. You've betrayed all your sisters. Millions are dying as you promote their death. And you're the anomaly, so whatever. Maybe one will turn out like Jasmine. It's the most satanic position you could have.
How many young girls come to me and they say, should I do OF? I say no. It's made for a very specific type of girl.
You just made an argument that you don't ever have to work.
I told people to go to school. I told people to go to school, not to do OnlyFans.
You're promoting it.
How am I
Here, real quick, we do gotta close up. Do you want to give your closing take?
Jasmine, you should change your messaging to it works for me.
My message was literally just go to college for men.
That's her advice, though.
That is my message.
Yeah, but when she's making it sound like she's got the most lavish lifestyle, that's what girls are hearing. They don't hear the college part, so she's sending them to the guillotine, and she knows it.
Correct.
I'm saying that I've done very well. I don't think this. I said that. I said most women don't do as well as I do on OnlyFans, and a lot of people don't want to deal with the stigma, the hate. They can't argue like I can. They can't advocate for themselves like I can.
Jasmine, who's that girl? Who's that girl who overdosed and is in a coma from your industry?
I have no fucking idea. I don't hang out
recently. That star. Who am I thinking of? The chat. You know that girl? It was a big thing.
On Twitter.
Right, can we get to the closing statements? We're like,
all I'm saying is that blood
Zherka.
is on Jasmine's hand and every other woman because women betray each other all the time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And Jasmine, what you should say is, I am an anomaly. I'm
I
somehow
have.
happy.
I always say that. That's why I said go to school. School is one of the only things you can tangibly do that's going to raise your life satisfaction in your overall life. I didn't say go do OnlyFans. I am an anomaly. Most people
You
can't
gotta
be
wash
me.
your hands. Wash your hands of that blood, Jasmine.
All right, I will. Thank you, Zherka. Nice
Okay.
meeting you.
All right, Zherka, where can people find you?
She's just adorable.
Where are you
okay?
streaming?
Listen, here's
these
the
days?
truth. I don't stream. You know, I'm CEO now, but sometimes I go live. I did want to, like, I was just bored. I clicked on this from the Sunny thing on Twitter, and I gotta say, Alex, you put on a hell of a show, but next time it should be 3 girls, 3 boys. That would be great, and I'd like to come to that as long as I can make it spicy and argumentative like I did right here. But this is great, and at the end of the day, I don't give advice because the unconscious unravels itself. We are moved by invisible forces. We don't know the invisible forces that are driving Jasmine to do this. Even though
How do you not give advice? You have a dating course.
I don't give advice because a human will do what they're destined to do. People are just fucked up. So that's
what's
why
inside
I
the dating course?
the advice that all I say is, if you resonate with my tribe, come to me. If you're blue pill, do not come to me. It's not going to work. It'll never. I'm not trying to make more money. If you're blue pill, good luck on your pills you take and suicide and all that. But seriously, at the end of the day, peace of mind is the most important thing.
I'll agree with that.
More than money, more than everything.
Yeah.
You could be a fat, bald dude with a Ferrari. You don't got peace of mind like a good-looking, broke Chad. You want to level your life up, be good-looking, fit, healthy, stay with your friends, make a lot of money. And at the end of the day, if you want one piece of advice that I 100%, it sounds like I'm trolling, but I mean it to my core, is this. If a woman is giving a man advice, she's lying. That's it. Don't listen to me. Just whatever they say, it's the opposite. Every single time. I'm an old man. I know this. If they're giving a man advice, they're giving you their reproductive strategy. They're lies.
Does Pearl, you follow Pearl's advice?
Pearl's great.
So when a girl says, "Hey, you smell bad," you're like, "Oh yeah, that means that I smell really good." Okay, so according to Sunny, guys, totally on board with banging a bunch of 3 or 4s. At the end of the day, utilizing the red pill device of doing group dates is horrible game strategy, but I don't think it's that bad since despite his red pill programming, Zherka still has a cute little crush on Jasmine. But I do appreciate everyone being here. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you, guys. I love a liberal bitch, bro. A retard is the hottest shit on earth, right?
I thought you said she was super smart.
No, that's the thing. Hold on, Alex. Would a super smart, wealthy lawyer ever go to OF? There has to be something.
That is a smart thing to do. What do you want to go sit in an office
Alex, isn't there an autistic jump she made somewhere?
I agree it's unusual, but I can see her logic.
Here's the truth. Why you never see an autistic woman, and it's only men, is because all of them are autistic. Even the lawyer went to OF with millions of dollars. Like they need guidance, bro. Sonny, you need a guide.
Real quick, I guess before we jump off, I was meant to moderate, but I was getting a little, I guess, more active than I should. So my bad. But I'm Tom Fuller Show on YouTube, streaming all night tonight, covering a bunch of different stuff after this. Alex said that he needs to get off, so he wants to end. But I think you guys are all able to stay and hang out here.
Discord,
you want to after he leaves.
All right, wait, Zherka, do you want to call real quick? I got 3K
let's speak. Let's get everyone. Jasmine, join us. We need content. We need that camera angle and all that.
All right, guys. Appreciate you all. Wait, let me wrap up. Appreciate you all. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We can do. You know what we should do, Zherka? We should debate on Trump because I think he's dog shit president, but you seem to like him, so we should.
Well, Alex, the problem is my team gets angry if there's no chicks. I need chicks on the show so my sales go up.
I'll get. I know. I'll get some chicks.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Seeing you guys.
Zherka, you want to call on?
But she bailed.